You are now tuned into the Boxing Brews. I'm Caden. I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on, everybody? It's the commissioner, Trill Dollar Bill.
What's good, everybody? Crooked finger salute. This is G.
And it's the TPE, baby. What up, world?
All right, so I know people, we just drop off and we be like, yo, let's just go live today. So we don't give you any warning. We just come through. So we want to see who's in the building. Let us know. Send us some comments.
Shoot, we got a lot of topics today.
I see my man Francisco Cruz. Much love from the Shy. The Shy, salute from the Shy.
Much love from the Shy. Shout out to my homie Francisco
The best
Cruz.
deep dish pizza in the world from the Shy.
Shy in the house. Shot time.
That's right. I ate a deep dish pizza from the Shy and I was knocked out for like the whole day.
Yo, it
I
takes
waited for the day.
London in the house.
All right, shout out to London.
Yeah.
Aaron Grant was good.
London in the house.
Oh, we got London in the building. You already know. Chris Boots, my boxing brothers, was good, Chris.
Scotland in the house.
And
Canada.
Canada in the house.
Freddie Mars from Canada.
What up, Andrew? I see you, brother. John, I see you.
All right, Sugar Ray, what's up? What's up, fam? How you doing?
Man, what's good with you?
All right, we see people making their way. My man Paul Leary from Ireland was good.
Sheffield in the building.
St. Kitts in the house, you know what I'm saying?
Boxing Bros Malaysia, we out there in Malaysia, baby.
Yeah. Gordon, been listening to your music, man. Been listening to your music. Salute. Chill out.
Yeah, Gordon's our guy, man.
Gordon's the man.
All right.
Sweet in the building.
All right, Chris Boots is in the UK, but he's by way of Jamaica. Salute to Jamaica.
You already
know, brother.
Shout out to Jamaica.
Speaking of Jamaica, what's her name?
France in the building.
Oh, the 200 meter brace. She got third, son. I was like, oh.
You not talking about Shelly Ann Fraser Price.
Bro, Shelly Ann got third, bruh.
In 200?
In the 200.
What's in the 100? That don't matter. She's 100. Yo, 200 and 100, two different races, bro.
Yeah, facts. I was like, you know what I mean?
And she probably wasn't even trying to go ham like that.
She was going ham at first, but then at the final 100, she started to slow down. While damn, what's her name, yo? I'll be forgetting these sisters' names, yo. But one from I think Cameroon, she was neck and neck, and she maintained the pace, and she got second. But this tall sister, bro, I forgot.
From Nigeria?
Is she from Nigeria? Nah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about,
bro. On some Usain Bolt level, maintain, gets faster as they accelerate. Nah, she's from the States, bro.
She might not be from Nigeria. I think.
Nah, I know who you're talking about, but this ain't her. She. I forgot what she got, but this tall sister, bruh, violate them, son. This girl.
Yo, I think it's her. I can't remember her name, but I know she's tall. Yeah, she's like light skin, right? Brown light skin.
Nah, not her. That's the Nigerian one. This one, I think she's African American. She's tall, maybe Ned's complexion, bro. She violated the most. Yo, Lily and the sister from Jamaica started off fast because she knew during the turn she was they were yo, she has to dominate the turn to win. She did take the turn, but as they going straight, she just started slowing down.
This shorty right here.
Which one?
Shanae Miller.
I think that's
the Bahamas.
Hold on, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Let me my little second.
All right, what's good, Rachel in the building? Hey, Rachel, man.
Salute, Rachel.
Rachel, I'm not talking to you because Nigeria poisoned Team USA's water. Okay, they paid the refs off. I can't believe Nigeria had to cheat to beat Team USA in basketball. They drugged KD.
Yo, who? Who texted chat yesterday and said that the uniforms were too heavy?
That.
That was me.
Yo, all right, her name is Miller Uibo. Maybe she is Nigerian. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think she represents the USA though.
She's Nigerian, right?
Hold on.
I told you, bro. Hey, respect the glasses, bro.
Yo, I don't know.
Respect the glasses, baby.
Yo, the flag. People help me out. There's a flag that's like black, blue, yellow, blue. I don't
Bahamas,
know.
right?
That's the Bahamas? Oh, yeah. Well, salute to the Bahamas, bro. They taking it this year in the 200. So it's different now, man. It's different. You know what I mean? But yeah, salute to her. You know.
All right, we got people filing in. We'll give people a little bit more time. What's good, little Jacob?
Warrior, yeah, that's her. Miller Uibo. Yeah. She a problem. Mm-hmm. That sweet science energy. Like, yo, stop talking about track and field.
Yeah. Well, not when Frank Sanchez gets a hold of your buddy.
Somebody said get Trill some glasses. My eyes are low. You know what I mean?
You know what it means when them eyes is low.
Exactly.
You know what it means.
I already know. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm saying, G. Where you been? The 200's a different race.
Man, listen, I agree. But nonetheless, yo, I like the 100s the best, right? Because that's when you know who the real like beast are. But
that's when Shelly and Fraser Price is gonna win, bro.
I'm gonna keep it 100, yo. I treat track like how I treat boxing. Yo, the 100 to me is my division. 200 I could rock with. 100 hurdles I could rock with. I'm not watching the 400s, bro. I
like the 400s too, bro. Yo, you gotta understand, G. Like, it's a different type of thing.
Yeah.
To be able to run the 400 at a certain clip requires a certain amount of stamina. It's different body build. Like the sprinters are too muscular to run that distance.
I mean, God bless. I'm not hating on them. I just don't. It ain't like, oh my goodness, yo, this is so intriguing because it's not like they run it really fast. So you're watching, you're like, all right, yo, when it's gonna be over. You know what I'm saying? But with the 100 and 200, you're like, damn, yo, they fast, bro. Like the hurdles to me is the most impressive because they run it wild jumping. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just so much.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Delilah Muhammad and Sydney McLaughlin go at it. That's gonna be.
I'm saying, so it's about to be crazy. Man, I'm telling you, this was supposed to be our year, man. But
Yo, I unsubbed from so many channels last week selling COVID sympathy packages. Hey, bro.
Hey, yo, Vax, that thing was about to be our intro, man. You better chill.
ATH for life. He finally caught the line. What's up, homie?
Oh yeah, salute to you.
Salute.
I ain't worried.
All right, man.
Y'all ready to start?
Yes, sir, man. People want come in. We got 60. We can get it popping with 60. Right. We want to say thank you. We know we come out of nowhere, and we gonna go live, and y'all still rock with us. That's so dope. All right. Trill has to step away for a second.
Now the homie asked for it.
You said what?
My man John Warrior, he was, I was hollering at him. That's my man John Warrior.
Okay. Warrior. All right.
I got you, homie.
Let's get it popping. All right. So the first topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Conor McGregor finished. As you can see, man, he lost to Dustin Poirier. I don't know if that's how you say his last name.
And you play this video, man.
It's not that bad, G. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It just happens.
You see the ankle turn right there. He went down in the first round, and he was unable to continue. So, yeah. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Conspiracy G, man. Conor McGregor finish.
No, I don't think he's finished because we've seen worse injuries in the octagon. But I don't know, man. That was bad.
I don't mean like finish. So let me clarify. I don't mean finishes like he'll never be in the octagon again, but his reign at the top, being like the elite level #1 UFC guy. Like, is he finished?
I think Dana White will give him one more loss. After that next loss, he's gonna boot him. You know what I mean? Dana White is notorious for letting stars go. So, Conor, man, you better. I don't know what you got to do, man, but that next fight, you better pull off that victory, man, because I don't know, man. The gift of gab ain't gonna save you no more with Dana White, man. Dana White is a savage, bro. He don't care how much millions you made him. If you ain't performing, you're out of there, man. So I don't know, but I give him one more loss. He got like one more loss. Then
so you're saying he's not finished?
Nah, not yet. You know, what they'll probably do is feed him. You know, they probably feed him like some food for the next one, just so he could kind of showcase and get acclimated. You know, his ankle, like it looked like it broke, so it's gonna take some time. You know, especially the type of fighter he is a stand-up striker, so he's gonna need his legs. So yeah, I just think Dana's gonna give him one more fight. If he loses one more, then he's out of there. You know.
Yeah, we just want to say, show love to the Eubank family. Definitely RIP Sebastian Eubank. It's always tough when you lose someone, especially someone young. So we want to send our prayers and condolences to the family. I turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. Is Conor McGregor finished?
Ow! 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 That's the only thing I can think of right now. Ow! Listen, yes, he is. Like he was gonna lose regardless of his ankle. You know, he was just getting beat up in there. I just think, you know, his time is done. You know, he's been in there like somebody else. I just seen somebody in the comment section was like, you know, so many camps, so many wars, so many fights. He's getting older now, and I totally agree. And not only that, Biggie told us long time ago. You know what I'm saying? More money, more problems. You know? And when I say that it's like sometimes, you know, with some athletes, that's why you gotta say a big ups to Floyd Mayweather. What's up, Irish bro? And you gotta say what's up. You gotta give a big salute to Floyd Mayweather, because making all that money and still having that hunger and desire to be #1 and to stay on top, and it's really hard. It's really hard. I question Conor McGregor's hunger. You know, that's why you just made 180 million last year. I don't know if your hunger is still the same, you know. But hey, all the best to Conor McGregor. He's made so much money. He's like the highest, man. Salute to him. You know, listen, he lost in the octagon, but he's winning in life. So, you know, I ain't mad at him, man. But I do think it's time to hang it up. You know,
Mr. T, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that, yo.
Time to hang it up.
All right,
my man, Robert Bailey said he's done. Simple, 2 words. He's done. All right, Mega TVE, what's your thoughts?
man, yo, before he even broke his ankle, he looked like he was washed up, yo. He was dusting, whooping his behind, yo. So,
he looked like, that's what I was saying. He looked like he was getting.
Oh, you can stick a fork in that, man. If you want to show
that time out, you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth, okay? Y'all put your drug KD's water, crab in the barrel referees. You watch your mouth.
And let me just add to this. Yo, you can't talk trash because I know in Nigeria y'all got McDonald's, son. Exclusively American, and McDonald's don't count. McDonald's is international. Just
it don't count. It was an exhibition anyway. Y'all getting happy over an exhibition? I'm sorry, Ned. Go ahead, Ned. Go ahead.
Yeah, nah. Connor's gonna. I guess if he wants, the only way Conor fights is if he wants. He's now. I don't think he's gonna fight. It's just more. It's a payday. it's like his using his name to build another fighter. I think Conor, you should just go to be an analyst after this, man. Yo, there's no need to get your face punched in. You'll be a funny, you're funny. Your personality is funny. The people love you, and just build your profile like that, man. You know, you got many things instead of just getting punched in the face or submitting to another man in the ring. You know, so. Salute. Get well soon, Conor. That's all I gotta say. Get well soon. It was a horrendous accident, yo. Like, sheesh.
Big backs with jollof rice on the side.
It's all right. Just wait until the Olympics. Wait until the Olympics. Retribution. You good, Nat?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Yeah, so I think Conor McGregor, how many L's is he going to have to take before he's finished? I know, like, you know, you saw what happened with Khabib, and then he said originally he was overlooking Dustin because he was about to have the fight with Manny Pacquiao. They do it again, and the way he just lost. You know, some people are going to argue and say, oh, the injury. But like Ned pointed out, even before the injury, he was getting the fight taken to him. So it's just kind of like, I don't think you were going to win anyway. Like, so when all is said and done, you know, that's a joke, right? But I was going to say, I think he should make a fight with like Paulie Malignaggi. You know, that could be because they got that little bad blood. I don't know if they need to bring him back in the octagon against the elite level. I don't know if Conor McGregor will ever be at that elite level again. Maybe it's like Trill said, he just made so much money, the hunger's not there anymore. Or, you know, maybe it is wear and tear on his body because mixed martial arts does take a huge physical toll on your body. When you look at certain fighters, and I think of like, when you look at the reign in UFC, it's never really that long. Like who's at the top, it isn't really that long. You look at it, it switches hands, and I think the wear and tear from the sport does it. But Conor's made more than enough money. He got his proper 12, and last night he got a proper ass whooping. So it's up to him what he wants to do. But I don't think he'll ever be elite again. Like, I don't think he'll ever be the number one guy again. That's my prediction. But if I'm wrong, hey, I don't have a problem with that either.
Yeah, this is true. Once your belly's full, it's hard to keep eating. You know?
Hey, that's some real stuff right there.
Right.
But you can try.
All right, since we got a lot of topics, let's get to the next one. So Tyson Fury wins the ESPN awards. Hold on, let me share my screen.
Yeah, Tyson Fury won the ESPY award for Best Fighter of the Year. And there were 4 fighters that were nominated in that category. Yep, and we're loading it up right now.
That's
all right. And so those fighters were Canelo Alvarez, Teofimo Lopez, Clarissa Shields, and Tyson Fury. The winner was Tyson Fury, so he won the ESPN's award for Best Fighter of the Year. I'm going to turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. Who do you think should have won Best Fighter of the Year? And do you even think that these guys or these men and women were the 4 that deserve to be in the category?
There's only one winner. I don't even want to cut you off and waste too much time. There's only one winner, and that's Saul. That's it. Just Saul. But I'm not going to say nothing else about the other people, you know. But all I'll say is Saul. Duh, Saul. That's the only one that should have got that award. They're giving it to people they didn't even fight the end of the year. This is crazy. But hey, what do I know? Shout out to Canelo. But you can't, I guess they was like, I don't know. Maybe just got too many awards. They was like, let's just give it to somebody else because I don't know. But listen, my mother always said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
Well, there you have it. Trill says Canelo when he ain't got nothing nice to say. about it. Conspiracy.
Yeah, you know what? I was gonna say Canelo also, but you can make a solid argument for Clarissa. Carissa's like what, undisputed in 2 divisions, and she did lead an all-female card on her own. That's pretty impressive. She didn't have like a Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum or Al Heyman behind that push. Now I'm pretty sure the pay-per-views weren't as stellar as we would like, but nonetheless, you got to give the sister credit for putting women's boxing on her back. So, I will make a woke argument for my sis Clarissa Shields.
What are you trying to get brownie points from Ned? All right. Ned, go ahead, Ned.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to.
This side.
He's trying to, for the later segments, he's trying to get that.
Yeah, G, watch your mouth. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Clarissa Shields. Yo, she did so much in the. Let me stop. Nah, I think Tyson. I wouldn't. I'm not mad at the Tyson Fury pick. Yes, he's the in-house guy, but he did whip Deontay's behind it at the beginning of 2020 before everything went down. Yo, so Tyson came out. He talked his mess. He said what he was gonna do, and he did it. And I can't. And he accomplished something he accomplished something no fighter has done before. Like held all the belts in the heavyweight division. He was the only fighter to hold all the belts. So, that's a spectacular accomplishment in itself. So I can't hate on that, but it should have been Clarissa, then Canelo, It should have been Clarissa, Canelo, then Fury, but Fury got it, yo. Clarissa, they snubbed you this year. But you got it coming for you soon, baby.
Many.
She didn't get this award, but she got the award in my heart, yo. That's it.
Yo, this is a joke, right? Like, I'm all about showing respect to women's boxing, and in many ways, I feel like women's boxing has been showing out and earning respect with each card that has been being put on. You look at Jessica McCaskill with Cecilia Brækhus. You look at Elaine Bridges with Courtney Shannon. That was another great fight. And you even have Clarissa Shields in there, and you look at Savannah Marshall, and we're like, that's a fight we legitimately want to see. So women's boxing is coming to the forefront. However, let's not act like Clarissa Shields didn't fight a woman who was 15-0 with 0 knockouts to become undisputed. And when it comes to the fights we want to see, Clarissa Shields hasn't made it yet. We want to see her fight Savannah Marshall. So although you can make the argument, and it's cute that she's undisputed and all those things, as you know, in women's boxing, they don't have as many fighters as the men. So they move up and down 2 or 3 weight classes to chase the challenges. And the challenge we want to see from Clarissa Shields is Savannah Marshall, right? So when you move on to Tyson Fury, yes, he defeated Deontay Wilder in impressive fashion. But to most people who know boxing, we expected Tyson Fury to defeat Deontay Wilder. We view Deontay Wilder as a one-trick pony who didn't take boxing seriously and relied on his right hand too heavily, and he got exposed by Tyson Fury. So that leaves the other 2 fighters, Teofimo Lopez and Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? When you look at Teofimo Lopez, he did do something that was very impressive. He knocked out Richard Comey to get the IBF title in impressive fashion. And to that point, Richard Comey was a legitimate opponent, a legitimate threat. Then he stepped in the ring with the then #1 pound-for-pound fighter, Vasily Lomachenko, and he won a very competitive fight. He's deserving of a nomination, and if he won, I would have said salute, because he would have deserved it based on his age, the level of competition, and taking down the former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. However, as Trill said, and it's not even close, the best fighter is Canelo. Look at the level of opposition that he faced. He beat Callum Smith. Callum Smith, like 40 cal. He beat Callum Smith, who was the #1 super middleweight in the world by all ranking services, like he was nothing. So BoxRec had Callum #1. ESPN had Callum #1. Ring Magazine had Callum #1. Canelo just beat him so easy, people were trying to say it was a fix. Canelo beat him so easy, people were trying to say it was a fix. Then you look at Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders was being hyped up, and everyone. Billy Joe Saunders was ready to pull out the night before the fight because he wanted a bigger ring. Canelo said, "Take the ring." You know what I'm saying? And stopped him too. Broke his eye. You know what I'm saying? Made him cry. That's what Canelo did. And we sit here talking. When you look at who beat the better opponents this year, Canelo. When you look at who has the better resume, Canelo. When you look at who's been having boxing on his back for the last few years now, Canelo. And I get it. You get fatigued with Canelo. Mm-hmm. You can give it to him all the time, so you don't want to do it. It's like Michael Jordan was MVP every year. It's like LeBron's MVP every year. You don't want to give it to the same person, so you got to mix it up. But one last thing I will add, Clarissa Shields has ties to ESPN, given the fact she does her MMA thing in the Pro Fighting League, which is with ESPN. Teofimo Lopez has ties to ESPN, given the fact that he's with Top Rank and Bob Arum and the deal they have. And so does Tyson Fury have ties with ESPN and Top Rank. So in actuality, we should have known Canelo had no chance to win because he's not an ESPN fighter anyway. You know?
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the next one. Oh, man. Y'all ready?
No life.
Hold on. Let me set this up. Wait a minute. Pull this out. Y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So as you can see, its sources: Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder postponed after Fury test positive for COVID-19. So there were rumblings that Fury's camp suffered a COVID outbreak, and then boom, boom, they say that Tyson Fury himself test positive for COVID, and now reports are that the fight is going to be pushed back, most likely till October 19th. They're saying that's the targeted date. And so Conspiracy, you done already came out and said you feel like Teofimo Lopez didn't really have C19 and it was a gimmick. And now this. So I'm coming to you straight away. What is your thoughts on this?
All right, yo, listen. Y'all already know Tyson Fury lying. Straight up lying. Your man Bob already snitched on you, fam, and said you was fully vaccinated, your whole squad.
Nah. Oh,
unless you caught that Delta strand, bruh, you's a liar. But however, yeah, all right. Now, but you know, although y'all know I'm rooting for Wilder, I always try to be objective. I don't believe it's really a duck because I'm like, why would he need to duck if he already beat Wilder in impressive fashion? I honestly believe, this is my conspiracy bag, I honestly believe, yo, ticket sales ain't what they anticipated. You know what I mean? And so they're like, yo, this ain't a good look. This is going to be a flop for ESPN, Fox, or whatever. They're getting nervous, so they need some time to recruit and market some more. So they're like, yo, let's just push it back. And this is another reason why I feel my conspiracy is actually right and exact. I haven't heard anything from Wilder yet clowning Tyson Fury about, you know, postponing this fight. So that tells me Wilder's in cahoots on this too. Wilder's probably like, yeah, you know what, maybe we all need a little more time. So I think that's the real reason. It's not Tyson Fury's ducking, he's scared and this, that, and the third. I just think they need more time to promote this fight, because if not, and this is going to hurt boxing for real, because you got to understand, the top ranking PBC are getting these powerhouses like ESPN and Fox to put millions and millions of dollars on their boxing budget towards this fight. And this fight takes an L, it's going to affect boxing for the entire year. So they need to make sure they recruit. So I think Tyson Fury took one for the team, to keep it 100 with y'all. And that's why you haven't heard anybody from the PBC side trashing Tyson Fury, even though Bob Arum already snitched on my man Tyson Fury. So that's what I honestly believe.
All right. True dollar bill.
I'm with G on this one. Well, nobody wanted to see this fight. I said that a long time ago. I was like, I don't want to hear these guys talk. Let's say nobody wants to see this fight. We all know what everybody wanted to see. And now you're trying to force people into watching something that they didn't want to see. This is what you got to do. I totally agree with G. The money ain't there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't there. You know? Sure. Look, you can pour syrup on. Well, you know what I was going to say. And it don't make it pancakes. You know what I'm saying?
Pour the syrup on it anyway. Go ahead. Pour the syrup on.
And that's basically what I'm trying. That's all I got to say about that. Nobody want to see this.
All right, TV.
Man, I don't know about all of that. I ain't gonna get into the conspiracies. I'm gonna say get well soon, Tyson Fury. And we'll see you in October, man. And hopefully Wilder don't get it in October. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, Ned, you're worried about Wilder getting it in October?
Hey, man. I'm gonna say hopefully Wilder don't get it in October.
Push-ups, man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man, yo, G, man. Hey, yo, you know, whatever.
Yo, you know what's funny to me is, like I said, this fight didn't have much interest anyway. That's why when Tyson Fury was saying, like, this is a bigger fight, him and Deontay Wilder is a bigger fight in America than anything Anthony Joshua can do in my mind, I was like, not necessarily. Nobody called for this fight. Nobody wanted this fight. We all wanted undisputed. And then we thought we were going to have undisputed, and it was taken away from us. And now you want everyone to have interest in this fight. The people who have interest in this fight believe Glovegate. They believed in Spike Water. They believed in all these people conspiring against Deontay Wilder. But for those of us who know what we saw that night, we don't really care. We feel like we saw Fury beat Deontay Wilder, and I'm fairly confident that if this thing is on the up and up, he beats him again. Like, so I want to see him fight Joshua. I want to see undisputed. I want to see the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis. That's what I want to see, because that's when we can finally have the man at the heavyweight division. That's what I want to see in the welterweight division too, so we can finally see who's the man since Floyd Mayweather left. But unfortunately, just like the heavyweight division, the welterweight division, we got all this crap holding things up. When it comes to this fight, I don't want to say I'm walking with G, because I don't want to walk with G. I refuse to walk with G. But I saw a commercial the other day, and I was like, man, I thought of G. The Olympics start July 23rd. The Olympics start July 23rd. And there are probably more people excited about the Olympics than seeing this trilogy between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So when you look at it, I think, you know, Bob Arum in his attempt to one up Eddie Hearn and pull the undisputed fight from under the rug and say, oh, we already have a date, July 24th, right? So in his haste to do that, he forgot the Olympics start July 23rd. So now you have the fight that doesn't really have much interest versus the Olympics. And I'm telling you right now, you told me, I'm being real with you. If Shirley Ann Fraser-Price takes that trap, at the same time Deontay Wilder and Fury get in the ring, I'll be watching that race first. Because I care more about that. You know, it was more exciting watching Nigeria beat Team USA. I would have been watching that. than Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So I do think it's interesting that the Olympics start on July 23rd, and now all of a sudden this fight got pushed back. So I don't want to say I'm walking with G, but the walk doesn't look as bad as it normally looks.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's all right to be like, G, you got that. You know what I mean? Once in a blue moon, you know what I'm saying? So
this ain't the walk I'm ready to take with you yet, brother.
Have faith, you know what I mean? I know Ned's down though. Ned's like, I ain't trying to get this dude no money or some push-ups.
Hey man.
Speaking of which, Ned, if it doesn't happen in October, G, you gonna owe Ned some push-ups.
Unless remember, it has to be this year. But if it's October, if it ain't gonna happen in October, then it ain't gonna happen this year. So hey, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's whatever. But I have faith that Wilder is ready to go. You get what I'm saying? Wilder can't even afford to come up with an excuse. If Wilder catches that delta, he still got to step up in that ring and get body back.
You can't do that.
Nobody's gonna allow him to have any more excuses. So I'm just saying that fight gonna happen, bro. Unless Tyson Fury says, "Yo, we done." That's all I'm saying. But now, your boy Tyson. Hold on, let me share this video. Hold on. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Man, this is all right. There you go.
It's all right, everyone. We're trying to pull this video up for you. All right, so this is a video by Ringside Stories. It's a pretty good video. If you have time, you should check it out. We can't really play you everything. We recommend that you go check this video out for yourself because some great work was done on it by Ringside Stories. And this is 10 minutes of Tyson Fury contradicting himself. You can give a little snippet of it, G.
Hold on. I'm gonna fast forward to like somewhere on this line. So
yeah, whatever you got,
The fight will eventually happen sooner or later. Yes, it has to happen. But do I think it's imminent? Right next minute? No. I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this fight's a 100% home. August 14th, 2021. Summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I cannot wait, repeat, cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua on the biggest stage of all time. Do I think I'm going to be fighting Joshua in the next 10 minutes? Hell no.
So how much does the Anthony Joshua fight excite you as a challenge?
When it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I continue. Keep boxing whoever they put in front of me. And that's it. And I cannot wait, repeat, cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua on the biggest stage of all times.
I'll tell you what it is, though. He's very, very, very good. He's only young, 20. Watch out for that name, Anthony Joshua. He is one prospect. I'll tell you what it is, though. He's very, very, very good. He's only young, 20. Watch out for that name, Anthony Joshua. He is one prospect for the future.
You can cut it.
Hashtag Bum City, slow, methodical.
Nah, but that one when you was talking about AJ was I thought it was clutch because in one breath he's bashing AJ, and then the other breath he's praising him, talking about how he gave him hell and sparring, this, that, and the third. So it's just funny to listen to Tyson Fury, how he goes back and forth with the contradictions.
You can catch that video on Ringside Stories. It's called 10 minutes of Tyson Fury's contradiction. If you want to watch the whole video. So I'm going to turn it over to you, G, man. What was your reaction to that video and just listening to 10 minutes of Tyson Fury contradict himself?
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of it I've already watched. But shout out to Ringside Stories. Just to compile it into that little compilation of 10 minutes. It's pretty interesting. You can't trust Tyson Fury at all, man. Literally the same topic. He'll be like, hey, Wilder's a bum. The next time they interview, Wilder's great. AJ's a bum. Next time, AJ's great. And it's just like, yo, fam, come on, man. The whole video is just is this the same guy? I don't care about the money. It's all about the legacy. Next thing, yo, bro, I'm all about the paychecks. I'm like, what? You know, so, and it's the same gentleman. And then it's funny because he says something in there about there's a difference between Tyson Fury and the Gypsy King. And I was like, yo, what's going on with these heavyweights, bro? This is just like Deontay Wilder and the Bronze Bomber. Like, yo, it's like a different persona. I'm like, fam, y'all sound insane. Like, for real. You know, like, y'all are just one man. But at least I believe Tyson Fury has he been diagnosed with schizophrenia or something?
I don't see those dudes medical charts, man.
Maybe I'm just projecting something on Tyson Fury, but at least Tyson Fury has told us in the past he's been battling mental illness. So maybe this is something along the lines of his mental illness. So I could kind of give him a pass, but it's kind of crazy. I'm like, this is just too much. And then I'm pretty sure there's probably more, but salute to you, Ringside for just putting that all together for the boxing world to view. And I think it's necessary to understand who y'all backing.
Hey, listen, Gordon, if you win, cut us a piece. If you lose, it's not our fault. All right, dollar bill. I can hear you, bro.
I mean, about to pass out when hearing Tyson Fury talk. I mean, like, listen, like, he think he's slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, he be wanting people to think he's a prophet, right? So he says everything. I think it is. He'll say whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I was right.
See, I said that. You know what I'm saying? This dude, man, I don't know. I'm done. Tyson Fury, when it comes to you, you know, being in the ring, hey, like to see you in there. I think that you're a phenomenal fighter. But once you open your mouth, bro, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done hearing you talk. I'm also done hearing Deontay talk. I'm done hearing you guys talk. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see you guys fight. So I'm done with that. I don't got nothing else to say about the guy. You know? When it comes to Fury, talk.
I dig it. TVE.
Man, you know, it's that video is hilarious, man, because this man contradicts itself. Like they got it, they got the evidence, they got the receipts out on Tyson Fury, easy. But you know, Tyson Fury is one of those people that just like to hear themselves talk. Anything, they'll just ramble and go on about anything. And this is when it comes to boxing, Tyson Fury just rambles about fighters, even if he doesn't even mean it. He knows they're good competition. He'll say whatever, and that's just regular Tyson Fury. But the video just makes him look bad, and it's just a habit he needs to stop. If as a fighter, if he wants to be taken really serious, he just has to really that's one thing that's gonna be his downfall is his mouth, because he runs it so much that he doesn't even. I don't even think he remembers he says these things, or he remembers like, oh, I was just bashing him, and then now you know it's just now I'm bigging him up now, you know. It makes him look ridiculous at this point. So Fury, get together, man, and get well soon.
What's the politics?
Right. So for me, I can understand certain points where Fury contradicts himself because it only makes sense, right? Like, I'll give you an example. When Fury's face to face with Deontay Wilder and he tells him, you're a bum from Alabama, you fought 35 tomato cans, like, I'm going to beat you up. He's telling Wilder the truth. He's explaining to Wilder, like, I know your record. I know your resume. But when he's in an interview and he's like, oh, he's the most fearsome puncher ever in the history of boxing. Yeah, he can put you out with one punch. He's dangerous. He'll beat Anthony Joshua. What he's doing is he's making his accomplishment seem bigger than it actually is, which I have no problem with that, right? Because why would he trash Deontay Wilder in those interviews, right? He's supposed to say Deontay Wilder can beat Anthony Joshua because he beat Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua hasn't fought Deontay Wilder. He's supposed to build up Deontay Wilder in comparison to Anthony Joshua because he holds the victory over Deontay Wilder, right? But when he's face to face with Wilder, he can't blow smoke up Wilder's butt. He has to let Wilder know the truth. Like, I know your resume, I know your history, I know you fought bums. And here's where I knew he was doing it. Tyson Fury's a sharp man. Here's where I knew he was doing it. He was telling Wilder the truth. And then they had an interview, and he was like, I want y'all to think he's the greatest puncher in boxing history. I want y'all to think that he's this most fearsome puncher, right? So when I beat him, give me all the credit on the night. He said, I'm not going to drag him down. That just makes my victory look messed up. He said the S word. He said, so I want y'all to think all of that, so when I beat him, it makes my victory look more impressive. That I understand. I understand trashing Joshua when you don't want to fight him. You downplay it when you don't want to fight him. Oh, really? He's robotic. He's this. I can beat him. Oh, he'll lose to the guy I beat. I understand that. But here's the one thing I don't understand from Tyson Fury. When he said, there's Tyson Fury and there's the Gypsy King. The Gypsy King is a great fighter. The Gypsy King is this fighter. Tyson Fury's just a man. Deontay Wilder said that same thing in front of Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury just disregarded it, said, I don't need a spirit to come in my body. I don't need these alter egos. He told Deontay Wilder, you and your alter ego are a pack of bums. That was my favorite line. And then when I heard that this dude was pulling the alter ego stuff too, that's the one thing I couldn't excuse. So why were you so dismissive of Deontay Wilder, and why'd you try to make it seem like Deontay Wilder was worshiping spirits when you did the same exact thing and you believe in God? So that's the one thing that I can't excuse. But other than that, I understand like the two-face thing with Tyson Fury. You don't want to downplay your opponent, and you don't want to crap on your victory, but you also don't want to gas your opponent up when you're face to face.
Yo, 1 foot out the door. Fury should never fight in the UK. He's losing the decision 100%. Yeah. Oh man. All right, let's get to the next topic. All right, this was a good one. Dillian calls for the WBC to strip Fury and let him fight Wilder. Hold on, let me share my screen.
So basically, Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte wants the WBC to strip Tyson Fury, email him the belt or award him champion, allow him to fight Deontay Wilder, and then once Tyson Fury recovers, allow Tyson Fury to fight whoever wins that fight to get the WBC belt back. He cites that's how Jermell Charlo became champion, because when Vitaly Klitschko went to become mayor, they made him champion emeritus, and they end up allowing Jermell Charlo to fight Chris Arreola for the vacant title, and that's how Jermell Charlo got the belt. And then of course Deontay Wilder ended up getting the belt because he beat Jermell Charlo. So what Dillian Whyte is asking for is for the WBC to allow him and Deontay Wilder to fight for the WBC championship, and allow Tyson Fury to fight the winner of that fight once he recovers from C19. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Conspiracy G. What are your thoughts on what Dillian Whyte is saying? Do you think it should happen? Just overall, what are your thoughts on that?
I actually like the suggestion. Do I believe Dillian Whyte though? No. Unless it's a later date. The July date is like in 2 weeks. So Dillian, are you really ready in 2 weeks? I don't know if you've been in a training camp or you've been even training, so I kind of feel like Dillian Whyte is kind of setting up a poor Dillian situation if in fact they do that. But if they could push it back to like later, like probably in August, September, honestly, I'll be down for that. And I'm only agreeing to this if in fact Tyson Fury does not want to fight Deontay Wilder for the trilogy. If Tyson Fury is like, I don't need this belt, y'all can have it, or yo, I really got that delta, and I don't think I could continue for another few months. Why not? You know what I mean? Like, let's see some big fights, and a lot of people want to see the battle of the D-dubs. You know what I mean? So I think they should do it. I'm so serious. Like, that would be fire. Like, have Dillian versus Wilder. Whoever wins gets to face Tyson Fury. I think that'd be a good build-up, and then from there, whoever wins that, undisputed against AJ. Like, it only helps out the heavyweight division. So I think the WBC should really consider this, like, for real. If they can make it possible, I would do it. Mauricio, make it happen.
Dollar Bill.
They ain't giving Dillian no shot at nothing. You know what I'm saying? Wishful thinking, Dillian. Wishful thinking. They're not giving Dillian. Poor Dillian. They're going to do anything. Dillian, try go for another belt, please. This is good. You know what I'm saying? I'm done.
Trill said, see my earlier work where I talked about this.
It's what we need to keep, you know what I'm saying, talking about this, man. Y'all know how I feel about this situation. Oh, man.
All right. TVE.
Man, I mean, they did give Pacquiao champion a recess, and he was Tyson Fury has been out longer than Manny Pacquiao. So I'm saying, like, you know, what was it WBC did it? So they might as well do it again.
Oh, you mean WBA? Oh, my bad.
WBA, WBC. Hey, I don't know if I want to make that same move, but it'll be a smart move, or it'll be at least you won't have to like you could have at least have a fight for that date. So I don't know. I say make it happen. You know, it'll be entertaining for boxing. At least we can end all this Fury Wilder nonsense, man. It's getting out of hand right now.
You know, I just don't see it happening for a number of reasons. Like, one, they already feel like that's the fight to make. There's already so much invested in the trilogy. And Deontay Wilder would have to agree to it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I give Wilder his slack when he deserves it. But for me, why would Wilder do this? All it does is just add more wear and tear on his body before he goes into the trilogy with Tyson Fury. It's not like fighting Dillian Whyte is going to be a good tune-up for Tyson Fury. They're completely different styles. In fact, I think most people would agree that Dillian Whyte's probably a better puncher than Tyson Fury. And I think most people would agree Dillian Whyte has the second best resume in the heavyweight division. So why would Deontay Wilder agree to fight him before getting his shot at the title? If I was Deontay Wilder, I'd say I'll fight him as a mandatory. I'll fight him, you know, if I'm forced to fight him. But with the title shot being guaranteed to me in my next fight, why would I take that fight? And you can't get mad at Wilder for that. I wouldn't get mad at any fighter for that. I think it doesn't make any sense for Deontay Wilder to fight Dillian Whyte when he can just go straight for Tyson Fury. And also, it's not his fault Tyson Fury got COVID. That would be like penalizing Deontay Wilder because Tyson Fury got COVID. If Wilder got COVID, I could understand you saying, well, Wilder, we're going to substitute you with Dillian Whyte and let Dillian Whyte get his shot. You know, but why penalize Wilder because Fury got COVID? That doesn't make any sense to me. So as much as it's like, I get sometimes people don't like Wilder or whatever, it just don't make no sense. And if I'm Wilder, I would refuse that ASAP. I want Fury. I want to start at the belt back, which he had the belt. And after that, I'll fight whatever mandatory you give me. If that's Dillian Whyte, then he can get his shot as a mandatory. But I'm not going to allow him to step in before. It doesn't help Wilder.
Doesn't even
bro, what were you gonna say, bro?
I said it doesn't even matter. WBC wasn't going to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, Trill, on that too. So,
all right, now hold on. So next topic: Deontay Wilder insinuates that he's going to kill Fury in the ring. So hold on, you just hear my screen. You know. I mean, Wilder, man, you know. All right. No, wait, my oops, wrong. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, wait, it's loaded. All right, there it goes. I'll just read it. Deontay Wilder asked whether he could have a fourth fight with Tyson Fury. Quote, this trilogy close chapter of me and Fury. My mind is very violent right now, and I'm trying to end his career and other things as well. I'm going to let you fill in the blank. End quote. And I guess the source was 78 Sports.
78 Sports. That's courtesy of 78 Sports. So there you have it. Deontay Wilder just says his mind is very violent and he's trying to end his career and other things as well. So what's your thoughts on that? I'm going to turn it over to you, the resident Wilder supporter, Conspiracy G. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, man, listen. I mean, you know how it is, man. He's just taking creative freedoms when he's expressing himself. So it is what it is, man. He didn't actually say it this time, so that's a plus for Wilder. But nonetheless, we know what he meant. I just take it as this is bad blood. If he truly believes that, you know, Tyson Fury cheated him, he just wants revenge, man. So I'm not really fazed by this. I'm like, hey, you know, this is just Deontay Wilder being Deontay Wilder. So we kind of knew this already. He said similar things in the past. I think now he's realizing that you can't use the kill or the murder or any type of phrases that's too politically incorrect. So I think now he's wording it in a way where this is gonna kill the busted challenge. Y'all stupid, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? It just, yeah, man. It's just Deontay Wilder. Like when I read that, it tells me he really wants to get in the ring with Tyson Fury to rewrite that wrong that occurred to him on the rematch. So yeah, I'm not really looking into it. And I've seen Tyson. I mean, I've seen my Deontay Wilder in the past. You know, like with what's his name? Brazil, they had real bad blood, like family members were involved in everything. And he wanted to violate homie, and after he knocked him out, they hugged. So it's just Deontay Wilder being his alter ego, the Bronze Bomber. So I wouldn't even take it that serious, man. I think even if Wilder knocks out Tyson Fury, he doesn't want Tyson Fury to die or be murdered or, you know what I mean, all of that career-ending stuff. Like, that's just Wilder talking to psych himself up, to, you know, pump himself up for the fight and everything like that.
Dollar bill.
He means he wants to stop his reign as being called linear. That's what he wanted to say. Nah, listen, Wilder, you already know how I feel about that. Just even playing around with that in this sport that I love, you know, as the man, I just don't like it. You know, listen, and I can't even make no excuses for him, and I will not make no excuses for him because here we have a saying here at Boxing Bros: you come humbled or you get humbled. You don't bring certain energy. Don't bring certain energies. There's so much other stuff that you can talk about. Just watch the energy. What's the energy you bring? That's all I'm saying. It's just watch the energy you bring, and I'm not gonna just continue to beat a dead horse because everybody knows how I feel about that. When you talk about crazy about this on this sport that I love, then you take it to another level. Just karma is an ugly thing in this sport. It's really an ugly thing in this sport. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just hate hearing it's crazy.
All right, TV.
I want to bring this. I think Wilder. I want to compare Wilder to Birdie from Above the Rim. If you haven't seen Above the Rim,
I don't know where this is going. All right, go ahead, bro.
it was a character played by Tupac, and
all right, go ahead.
There was a basketball tournament, and Tupac's character really wanted to win, and he took extra measures to win that fight. I'm just saying, if Wilder's saying his mind's in a violent place, you gotta watch his entourage.
That's your connection to
Hold on,
Birdie,
you
bro?
gotta watch his
Are you serious?
entourage.
That's your connection to Birdie?
You gotta watch his entourage. I'm saying keep an eye on Malik. If Marcellus Wilder's in the corner, whoever's just me mugging Fury in the ring at that time, because once Wilder give him that head nod, they might just pop in that ring and do something crazy, man. So I'm just saying,
I can't believe you with that. My man Flip was that dude. You could, you know what I'm saying? And Flip.
I'm just saying.
Listen. You can protest too much, in my opinion. To me, someone who talks too much is weak. Like, you hear the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. Like, when you're confident in your abilities, you don't really do that much talking. So he's protesting too much to me. It's like you keep saying you want to catch a body in the ring and all, just catch one then. And then you don't have to talk about it, but you keep talking about it. So it reminds me, like, when I was growing up, we'd be on the courts. Like, one time this really happened. We was on the court and this dude got mad. I was like, yo, I'm going to come back here and air the whole block out. And he left. And we stayed playing basketball. Because we knew if he was going to air the whole block out, he wouldn't have said it. Like, would you move in silence, right? Silence and violence. If you really want to move in violence, then you move in silence. You're going to voice it to the whole block, like, then we just know it's for show. So, like, the more you keep saying it, to me, the less, like, I believe you. It's like, it's almost like you're saying it so much, you're trying to convince yourself again. And that's the problem. And even his workout videos that he's posting, I'm extremely happy that Deontay Wilder is working out. I'm happy that he's taking this fight more seriously. And I'm hoping that we see a better Deontay Wilder in the ring. But take a look at Anthony Joshua, for example, when he was preparing for the rematch with Ruiz. We didn't see any videos of Joshua. Joshua wasn't talking, and the world was saying that Anthony Joshua was going to lose. They were saying he's too robotic. They were saying he can't box. They saying he lacked fluidity, all types of stuff. But then he got in that ring and showed some of the most fluid, beautiful movement I've seen from a heavyweight in a long time. And he boxed beautifully. And that was Anthony Joshua not saying a word. Because in his mind was, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to show you. And I just want Wilder to have some of that. I just want Wilder to not show us everything and show us some of that in the ring. Like, you don't have to keep talking about it. At some point, you got to show us in the ring. And he's doing a lot of talking. You know, he's doing a lot of talking. But at the end of the day, Wilder, there's only one place you can show us all this, and that's in the ring.
It's true. It's true.
So,
I'm just trying to pull it up. All right,
My
so
man,
next,
we don't answer people from London. We do, my brother. We just don't see. We got to keep on with the show, so we can't stop. You know what I'm saying? To say what's up to everybody. But we got nothing but love for you, man, and we thank you for the support always.
Yeah, 100. Trill spot on, bro. We shout out. We'll be here. We show the love when we can, though.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
Yeah, but next topic is WBA rejects Manny Pacquiao's request to be reinstated as their champion. And let me just share this article with y'all. There you go. It says WBA rejects Pacquiao's request for title reinstatement. Ugas to remain WBA super champ. Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's from Boxing Scene. And basically what they're saying is they're going to allow Ugas to remain champion, and they're denying Manny Pacquiao's request to be reinstated. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your thoughts on, the WBA refusing to reinstate Manny Pacquiao as champion?
Shout out to my man HOD. That was super hilarious, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because, all right. First of all, you're stopping Undisputed, at welterweight. There's another reason why. And another reason is because, listen, Manny Pacquiao didn't lose that belt. You know what I'm saying? He didn't lose the belt. That's his belt. That's his belt. Even though Pacquiao, and I've said this plenty of times before on this channel, Pacquiao is bigger than the belts. Pacquiao is a legend, but it's disheartening, and it's not right at all. I feel like everything that he has done for the sport. Give that man his belt back. Give that man his belt back. All the money, all the fame, all the love that he has brought to this sport, give that man his belt back. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. But hey, what do I know? I'm only trying to be fair here, and the fair thing to do to me, would be just give him back his belt. He's fighting. He's going to fight Errol Spence. This is the fight that people want to see. This didn't take forever to make. This wasn't no negotiations. They didn't send Eddie around the world. They didn't send Al around the world. They didn't send Paul. They didn't do none of that. They didn't get everybody's hope. They said they was going to fight, and they decided to fight, and they scheduled this fight before they even talked about Ugas fighting anybody else. Give that man his belt. Manny Pacquiao should have never been him. He fought and beat Keith Thurman. Give that man his belt. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to just keep saying it over and over. Give him his belt. I think that's corny. I really think that's corny. This fight should be for Undisputed.
Someone wrote, the WBO don't count. Well, technically, it used to not count. So old school Undisputed, you didn't need a WBO. And I really wish they went back to that. Ned TBE.
Man, I want to know, did Manny Pacquiao request to be champion in recess? Because if he did, then I see you gotta go through with it. But if he didn't request to be it,
bro, he didn't request it. We've gone over this several times. So, we have a topic where we discussed that the WBA made him champion in recess for his inactivity, and you were present when we did the show.
Hey man, we covered so many boxing topics.
To be in recess, man.
Because why would WBA post this moves without some parties' request? Come on now.
Inactive, but why would a champion?
But how he wasn't inactive? A pandemic is going. They did during the pandemic.
Bro, his last fight, was Keith Thurman, right?
Yeah, but that was in 2019. The year, literally.
This right now,
huh?
What year is this right now?
2021. They put him in champion in recess in 2020.
I mean, during the pandemic, though, correct?
But but that's during the pandemic.
A year, right? And on top, I'll wait till my turn. My bad, but
you can have a dialogue with him going.
I'm just saying. It was only a year, and then there was a pandemic. And they chose to put him in recess, which I don't know if they consulted him or they got an okay from him. But it just seems fishy business for me for them to just do that. And then now when he's ready to fight, it's he's fought before the other fighter they gave the belt to. He's fought, and it's just causing all of this. It's just doing too much. It's just messy business. It's too much mess right now. That's what.
All right, G.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, Pacquiao actually doesn't need a belt. You know what I mean? So, that belt technically only benefited Errol Spence because Pacquiao's already a legend, so he doesn't even need that belt. It just made that fight more compelling for leverage for Errol Spence when he actually wants to go up against TC. So that really has nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao, and probably the WBA is probably like, man, listen here, like they're probably thinking Pacquiao gonna lose. I'm not even trying to get the Philippines on fire and nothing. Like he is older. Like I seen Pacquiao this week, and I was like, man, my man really aged on us. Like he looks different now. So I'm just being honest. So maybe they were probably considering it, and then when they seen that last footage of him in the ring, they're like, that's Pacquiao? Nah, bro, we can't do this to him, man. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably thinking like, and not to mention too, yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really understand. I kind of agree with Ned on this one to a degree. However, like I would have put him on recess also because he was inactive, you know, and it's like you can't have a guy who's a champion not fighting, you know, so you need to do something. And if Pacquiao at the time was trying to negotiate between Spence, TC, and I believe somebody else, you know, so they're probably waiting like, yo, Pac, man, you gotta give us something. And if Pac's just not willing to fight, they're like, all right, yo, Pac, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you in recess, and we're gonna appoint Ugas because at least Ugas is probably gonna fight. And then now Ugas is planning to fight Andre Berto, which to me doesn't really make sense because Berto's been inactive for forever. Like the last time he fought, I think was probably Floyd. You know what I mean? From my recollection. So that seems weird that they're gonna allow Ugas to maintain that. But then I'd be thinking like, yo, this could be just all Al Heyman. Like, but then again, it's like, wouldn't Al want Spence to have that belt as well? So that's why I'm mad confused. Like, I just don't understand the ruling that the WBA has actually decided to just reject the request. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't get it either. I'm be honest, I just don't get it.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, if we're talking about being fair, does Manny Pacquiao deserve the belt? Absolutely. He didn't lose the fight in the ring. Technically, he's going to be fighting before Eugenio Ugas. They're talking about Ugas may be fighting Andre Berto at some point as his first defense, and Berto's been inactive for a long time. So we gotta look at it a few ways. Who made a decision? The WBA. If you're the WBA, should you want your belt on the line? Well, absolutely. I feel like you should want your belt on the line. You should want all the belts, as many belts as possible to be on the line. The winner of this fight to be champion. There are a number of things that you can factor in, right? So you're looking at it from a perspective that Manny Pacquiao is going to lose, but what if he wins? Now, if you're Al, you got Ugas. Ugas can step in and fight him, or not even if he loses. But before the Manny Pacquiao fight, Earl Spence was in negotiations, or he said he was willing to fight Ugas. You remember that email exchange where Earl Spence was like, "All you needed is something that I wanted, and we can make the fight happen." And then we were talking about, is Earl Spence going to fight Ugas? Well, if you're Al Heyman, you got Ugas in your stable, you got Earl. That's a fight you can still make. So you can let Earl Spence fight Manny Pacquiao, and if he wins, right, he collects the popularity and all those things, and then you make him fight Ugas, and now you got two of your stable mates fighting one another. You got Earl Spence and Eugenio Ugas unification bout, right? And there's only one more belt out there, but that fight's going to generate so much buzz because it's a unification bout. So this could be a way of just like, milking the cow. And it's like, we don't want to put too much on the line in this one particular fight. And mainly because of our next topic, which we can dive into now.
So next up, we got Pacquiao versus Spence will crown the first welterweight Ring Magazine champion since Floyd Mayweather in 2015. Let me just share screen. So Manny Pacquiao, Earl Spence winner will be the Ring welterweight champion, and this is according to ringtv.com.
Yeah, and so basically, what this article states is how typically the Ring Magazine belt is on the line for when the number one fighter in the division fights the number two fighter in the division. They can put the Ring Magazine belt on the line. However, they have something in their bylaws that allows them to make a 1 versus 3 matchup for the Ring Magazine belt. And seeing as how Earl Spence and Terence Crawford haven't fought each other yet in all this time, and there seems to be like there's no interest in them fighting one another, that they are going to put the Ring Magazine belt on the line for Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence, the 1 versus 3 matchup. And so now, although the WBA is not putting their belt on the line, Ring Magazine is putting their belt on the line, which will crown the first Ring Magazine champion in the welterweight division since Floyd Mayweather in 2015. So I'm gonna turn it over to you to Trill Dollar Bill. What's your thoughts on Ring Magazine putting their belt on the line for this fight?
Why not? Okay, since they want to do their funniness with their belt. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I think this is why not? It's only right. This is a huge fight, and this is a big fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Earl Spence is only right that we get the Ring Magazine belt in on this. You know, the other belt should be in on this too. I don't know what's going on with these guys, and I don't even want to put some respect on Manny's name. You know, but nah, I'm not mad at all. I think this is the right thing to do.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I agree with Ring for allowing this fight. Like, I have to be honest, man, Pacquiao impressed me against that Thurman win. And I was like, damn, man, they're saying like, and I just recently seen an interview with Dana Garcia, and Dana Garcia was like, you know, Matisse and Keith Thurman were the hardest hitters in the welterweight division for him, you know, and Pacquiao, you know, like, he was really impressive. I was shocked because, you know, I was like, man, Thurman gonna body bag Pacquiao. And I was sadly mistaken, man. So, and on top of that, with his, you know, his long career, you know, like, it makes sense to have Spence versus Pacquiao, seeing that we can't have Spence versus TC for the ring belt. So to allow Pacquiao and Spence to go at it for it, I think that's dope, man. So there at least is some form of new hardware to be earned for Spence in this fight, in addition to getting a legendary name under his belt like Manny Pacquiao.
All right, TBE.
Nah, I think that's pretty dope. I never knew like Ring Magazine. I never heard of it till now. Like, and I should, you know, but hey, knowledge from well, it's news to a casual. So, well, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. But
Hold on, that Tyson Fury had that belt?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was called. But I used to every time I see a fighter with that belt, I just didn't know what it was. I just didn't know. I just see fighters with a lot of belts. Every time they fight, I was like, what do these belts stand for? Which belt are they fighting for? So, you know, it creates a lot of confusion. But now after a couple, like, you know, being around you guys, it's open knowledge. I know a lot about the belt. Well, I know my knowledge about the belts is hey, Francisco, watch your mouth. All right. But now this is pretty dope. This is pretty dope. Like, you know, this is an accomplishment for both fighters, you know. Pacquiao, if he accomplishes this at his age, you know, he'll just be solidified. You know, it just adds more icing to his cake. And, you know, Spence just being the breath of Pacquiao, Mayweather, and all the other greats. So, you know.
Yo, why is it that anytime we talk about Pacquiao, you just jump out the window with a comment, bro? I'm just saying,
man, it's all right. It's all love. Your love for the Philippines, you know. But you know, it's just accomplishments. It's a great accolade for both fighters, and you know, I ain't mad at it. Can't wait for this fight to happen. It's one of the highlights of the summer, so let's get it.
Yeah, I think Ring Magazine is just tired of waiting. I think they want to put the belt on the line for Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford, but that fight hasn't been made. I'm not here to get into semantics about who's ducking who or whatever, because to me, that's just clown stuff. At the end of the day, the stuff I've been pointing out is leverage. And you remember me saying that Errol Spence has all the leverage, and the TC fans get mad. Look, I love boxing. I respect both guys in their fighting ability, but I'm not a fan. Like, I don't fan for either one of them. I just tell it like it is. And Errol Spence has the leverage because he has the bigger names in his stable, you know, i.e. Keith Thurman, i.e. Danny Garcia, i.e. Ugas, who has the WBA title. So when you look at that, TC's only hope was to get Manny Pacquiao. So now that Errol Spence has Manny Pacquiao, the Ring Magazine will put the belt on the line. And I believe that Ring Magazine would have put the belt on the line if Terence Crawford was fortunate enough to get Manny Pacquiao. When you look at the name, Manny Pacquiao is the big name. Manny Pacquiao is the one fighter in the welterweight division who's bigger than the belts. So whomever he fought, the Ring Magazine was going to put that belt on the line. So I believe if it was going to be Manny Pacquiao versus Crawford, Ring Magazine was going to find a way to put the belt on the line. Although the bylaws do state it has 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, and they're saying that they have Errol Spence at 1 and Manny Pacquiao at 3. So I think that this is a big fight. I think this is a fight that people want to see. And I think if you can't get Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, there's no better fight to put the Ring Magazine belt on the line for than this fight between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. So I'm all for it.
So next up, we got, man, say it ain't so, man. My man Derek Chisora part ways with David Haye. Hold on once. That, oh, man. Yo, y'all UK brothers got to get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. Y'all see my screen? Oh, wait, is this it? Yeah, there it goes. So, parting ways. Derek Chisora announces split from manager David Haye as they release statement explaining current state of their relationship. And this is on talksports.com. The former foes have been well known to hold a fractious relationship in the past, but this parting appears amicable as they release a joint statement. Where's the statement, though? Wait a minute, hold on. This is, Haye explains, quote, "It's been an action-packed couple of years, getting Derek back in the mix of the heavyweight division, taking him from Del Boy to war mode. When we announced our unlikely partnership, we pledged to give fight fans the big fight nights of heavyweight clashes they have called out for, and that I believe we have achieved. Whilst I will no longer be managing Derek, I will naturally continue to follow and support his career with great interest. The UK remains at its epicenter of the heavyweight division, and Derek stands ready to go toe-to-toe with them all. 2021 is looking very exciting for him with a number of options available." Is there anything else? Chisora added, "Everyone close to me thought I was crazy when I told them I wanted David to manage me. But in the last 2.5 years, my performances in the ring have spoken for themselves. Giving fight fans the battles they wanted to see, even when COVID put a handbrake on everything. I may have been robbed against both Alexander Usyk and Joseph Parker, but have developed as a fighter. 2021 is looking very interesting. I am back in camp, ready to go this autumn, this time for war. I would like to thank David for his support, at times patience, and guidance during our time working together." All right.
Salute Complex in the building. Salute to the homie Complex. All right. So, $12 bill, man, what's your reaction to Derek Chisora splitting with David Haymaker Haye?
Hey, to each his own. I mean, hey, it's cool. Listen, you didn't get robbed against Usyk and Parker. You just lost. as far as the David Haye thing, every time I see them together, I know it's weird. I should be bringing up old stuff, but all I do is see is David Haye teeing off for them. That's the only thing that I keep.
He lost me.
I know. I don't want to bring up nothing old, no old stuff, but that's the only thing I keep thinking about every time. You know what I'm saying? But shout outs to Chisora. I guess the rematch, he got some options coming up, and I don't know, man. But good lucks to him. Shout outs to him.
All right, Conspiracy G.
Man, I'm being honest, man. I thought David Haye was good for Chisora. You know, like me personally, I did have Chisora beating Joseph Parker. You know, he definitely lost against Usyk, but he still showed that he's a great gatekeeper for the heavyweight division. You know, and David Haye's been, you know, pause, but he's been his best cheerleader, bro. Like, this dude always spoke highly of Chisora, like all the time. Like, he did what a promoter's supposed to do. And so I'm just curious why they parted ways, you know, but it seems respectable, you know, like they still seem cool. David Haye sound like he's still going to support his career and everything. So that's dope. But I don't know. I kind of wanted those two brothers to make it work, man. I thought, you know, their partnership was good for especially for UK boxing, but just boxing in general, man, for the heavyweight division. So I don't know, man. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sad, man. You know what I mean? But salute to David Haye. Because I'm like, who else is signed to David Haye's promotion? You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was only Chisora. So I'm like, does that mean the David Haye promotions is just over with?
Hey, man, Jerry Maguire, man. You know?
Yeah.
All right, TBE.
I don't know. I think if there's no bad blood, then you know, it's all love. It's all love right here, man. You know, they just going their own ways. Maybe I don't know. I can't say what it is. Chisora did lose his 2 last fights, and you know, David Haye's probably trying to build his brand, try to lock in other fighters, and he just doesn't want to be associated with that no more. But you know, I just wish them 2 the best. You know, Derek, you got your fight against Joseph Parker coming up in the next couple of months. And, you know, wish y'all both the best on your endeavors. That's what I could say.
All right. I want to give a shout out to my man Peter, Nigeria in the house. Hey, listen, y'all cheated Team USA, but we forgive y'all. We know what you did. But we forgive y'all. Salute to Nigeria. Big up to Nigeria being Team USA in basketball. And salute Salute to Arlette. Hey, Arlette, you missed our TC segment where we say favorable things about your favorite fighter. So we're going to bring it back. Everybody, what do you have to say about those? So when you talk about oh yeah, I saw that. I saw those memes. Twitter was like KD's calling Nigeria right now, trying to trade.
I seen his mother hugging the coach. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, you know, I think Derek Chisora lost 2 close fights. I scored the fight for Usyk 115-113, and I scored the fight for Joseph Parker 115-113. I believe that Derek Chisora lost those fights. I believe it was very close. Although Derek Chisora is aging, like he's in these fights still, very close fights, and he's not getting the nod. And G, you pointed it out, he's with David Haye. And I think maybe his team sat down and some people feel like, you know what, we're not getting these close fights because you don't have a powerful team behind you. Like, you don't have like the system behind you. Like, you have David Haye as your manager, but maybe you win these decisions if you were with Eddie. Maybe you win these decisions if you were with Frank or you were with someone. And so I think that maybe he felt like it was best for his career to have a big team behind him, because people don't understand that. Like, when you enter into these decisions in close fights, it helps to have a huge machine behind you. It helps to have a network behind you. It helps to have a big promotional company behind you. Whereas if you're with a guy like David Haye, who's like, you know, just hoping you hit it and you knock it out the park, you're not going to get those close decisions. And I think in his mind, Derek Chisora probably feels like if I had a big team behind me, I would have at least gotten one of those 2 decisions. And so he probably feels like it's best to part ways and join the machine.
All right, so now next up we got WBC does not rank Usyk in the top 10. Is this fair or foul? So give me 1 second to share my screen. And this is according to worldboxingnews.net. So as you can see, we have number 1, Deontay Wilder. Number 2, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 3, Luis Ortiz. Number 4, Joseph Parker. 5, Joe Joyce. 6, Michael Hunter. 7, Aggie Caballo. Number 8, Fair Jabba. Number 9, Philip Hargovic. Number 10, Tony Yaka Frank. Man, I don't know. Yaka.
Tony Yoka, I think is his name.
Oh, okay. God bless his name. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So as you can see, you don't see Usyk's name. Matter of fact, hold on, is Usyk even in the top 15? Damn.
Nah.
Crazy. They even got Chisora on there, number 13, and Carlos Takam, number 4.
All right, yo, cut the screen and let's get into it. $1 bill. What's your reaction to the WBC not ranking Alexander Usyk in the top 10 heavyweights?
G did this. G had dinner with Maurice Solomon. G did this. We be coked up. Oh my goodness. These guys, right when I think they gonna get it right, they man, listen, I don't know. Nobody they had just had a bad day at the office. It was just a typo. Somebody had a bad day. I don't know what's going on with these guys, but I would like to apologize to Usyk. They don't mean nothing by it. Somebody must have paid for that ranking. They WBC, we be corrupt, we be cheating, we be crazy sometimes. But not having Usyk in the top 10 to me is, I don't know, man. I'm just not with it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Even if you want to put him at 10, but he's definitely goes above a lot of the guys that they have above him, even the guys he done beaten. Like this is how you know that this is a bunch of, all right, I just don't want to give him no more energy, These guys is crazy. We be crazy.
For your boy.
Oh, my boy. Hey, Chino, Underground. Hey, much love and respect. I appreciate it, man. Boy, Chino, Underground Music.
Shout out to Trill Talk Volume 2, out now on all platforms. Volume 1 and 2, everyone, so y'all can check that out.
Oh, man, that's love. That's love, man. Salute to you, homie. For real.
All right. G, did you speak with Mauricio Solomon?
He's gonna lie.
Hey, listen, I think Mauricio probably seen one of our videos. Was like, that guy G, he's onto something. Hey, man, listen. No disrespect. Usyk, great fighter. He hasn't been really tested like that here in the heavyweight division. If you want to say Chisora, then hey, but Chisora was ranked what? Number 13. So if you want to give him number 13, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad with that. Even what Trill was saying, number 10, yeah, maybe he could take number 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could give Usyk that. But to be honest with you, man, his performance against Chisora really wasn't that convincing to me. And it's just he had 2 heavyweight fights. And so, like, how can you just bump him up in front of all of these guys who have, their careers have been in the heavyweight division? I don't know how you could actually do that. Regardless of how spectacular he may be, he's just not battle tested in the heavyweight division. So I'm not necessarily mad at the WBC's decision to not have him on this list. It's no disrespect to Usyk. I'm pretty sure if they had a cruiserweight list, Usyk would be number 1, but as of right now, with WBC uses that G standard, it's a soundproof standard to me. Like, I don't know. I'm being honest, man. The moment Usyk, like I'm telling you right now, when he fights AJ, I just want all you Usyk lovers to just be like, G was right. You know what I'm saying? Because AJ, that boy.
Are you serious? Like, really?
Hey, man, listen.
I know. Listen, because I done went on this show and I done said, I think Usyk is talented and he is the man. And there's only 2 people that I could see in this heavyweight division that can beat him. And those 2 guys happen to be from the UK. And that's Fury and AJ. To me,
these guys could beat him, bro. I'm being honest, man. Listen, as slow as
I haven't seen it.
Even FA can knock out Usyk.
You're bugging. I thought you liked Usyk.
Yo, G,
I do like Usyk.
I'm not giving him credit. Every
respect yourself, respect yourself, G.
Wow, G, yo, you really just jumped off the bridge with this one.
I mean, no disrespect, but your man is food in the heavyweight division. Let's just
How? He's passed the test. He's done passed the test. Every test he done put it in there.
Hold on. He barely passed the entry level test, which is
passed.
Bro. That's the entry level exam. You know what I'm saying?
Passing.
Yo, listen, man. Yo, all right, man. God bless you.
What test has Jollof Rice Cake FA passed?
Yo,
for you to sit here and say that he can beat Usyk, you think that FA can beat? You think FA can beat Derek Chisora?
FA could beat Derek Chisora.
You think FA beats Derek Chisora?
That's a little different.
Hold
on. You know what you're doing right now?
Go back to the G standard. Yo,
what did Usyk do to you?
Yo, Trill, we're dealing with the G standard. Throw logic out the window. You know what I'm saying?
Difference. When I seen how Usyk responded to the punches that he took from Chisora, that told me like he can't handle power. So if FA lands, now FA kind of he's like, the Nigerian Wilder, right? So he's gonna lose a bunch of rounds, but once he connects, Usyk's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like he just can't handle it. When he was taking them shots from Chisora, you're watching him fly across the ring and all this. I'm like, fam, you can't take that. But you think you can handle Anthony Joshua? I'm being honest, man. This dude's food, son. So, and this is no disrespect to Usyk. Yo, you've done great things in cruiserweight. Heavyweight's just a different beast, and it's no disrespect. It's just the truth. Like he can't handle these shots. Like he'll be winning a bunch of rounds, then when he gets clipped, he's gone. Like what's it? G's opinion might not be shared. It's G is fully G. I'm still holding it down for my team. You know what I mean? Because these dudes don't see the light yet, and I forget them.
Team hate Usyk. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't even hate.
I'm just saying at heavyweight. Like you're saying,
I just want to make it clear.
You're saying that he can't take these shots. I didn't see him do the stinky leg. I didn't see him get dropped
because he was running.
I see him hurting these guys. I see him win. That's all I seen. I seen him win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, yes, he is probably needs some time to. I was thinking that this fight with AJ is too soon. But I stand by what I said. Yes, is not a natural heavyweight, but this guy is very talented and he can frustrate other guys. I stand by what I said. I only think that there's Tyson Fury and AJ that can mess with him. The other guys, you know what I'm saying, they got to show me because I'm not giving them no credit for nothing they haven't done. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gotta keep.
Exactly. And Trill, you act like, oh, and watch what happens with AJ. We all said AJ would beat him. You act like that's proving something.
No, but because that's his next shot. He's in here.
But we all said he wouldn't beat AJ.
Right, no, listen. That's why I also mentioned FA. You know what I'm saying? So I'm providing range. I'm providing a little everything. I think Wilder will knock him out. I think George Joyce will knock him out in heavyweight. I think who else we got? He might beat Andy Ruiz. It depends on which Andy Ruiz shows up that day.
You wait, G. This is what G. You know we gotta move on from here. G, you think F.A. Joppa will beat Usyk, but Usyk will beat Andy Ruiz?
It all depends.
You got my guy in the comment section like G crazy.
No, the height which advantage that FA has that Andy Ruiz don't have. You know what I'm saying? I hope I had the gray hoodie net edible, dog. But nah, I'm just saying, like, again,
that basketball game last night, guys.
Why I said what I said. Without making this segment too long. With Andy Ruiz, the problem is he's too flat-footed. And so style against a Usyk, it'll be hard for him to capitalize on that. So I have to be honest. Like Chisora did great.
So FA has better feet than Andy Ruiz.
But FA has better reach. That's the difference. All I'm saying is once FA connects, night. It's the same thing I'm saying, the same argument I'm gonna make for Wilder against Usyk. Usyk will win all of those rounds until he gets hit and then he's done. You know what I mean? That's all it is. So it's like and again, y'all making it seem like I'm just hating on Usyk. I promise y'all I'm not. But I don't see like Usyk doing much on the elite level. And I'm not even saying FA is elite level. FA is like B level. Like, you know what I mean? There's the A class and then there's the B class. Usyk to me is like the bottom of the B class, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like he's all right, but he's not the man in the heavyweight. That's all I'm saying. But all due respect. I hope all of y'all walk to Usyk's hospital room when he gets knocked out by AJ, though.
That's different. We're not talking about
that.
Yo,
bro.
We're not talking about that, bro.
If Usyk loses to AJ, Fury, like, it is what it is.
All that disrespected me now. She's like, I'm just a true fan of fighters with power. Nah, yo, listen. Yes and no. I do like fighters with power. I like to watch dudes get knocked out. However, I'm telling you, Usyk's style is cool at cruiserweight. Heavyweight's just a different beast. You gotta have power behind them punches for dudes to respect you.
You got power.
Yo, to me, with Chisora defeated himself. Chisora lacked endurance. So Chisora was punching himself out. So he was doing good the first couple of rounds. After that, Chisora was he was just a punching bag in that ring because he lacks endurance. But these dudes at an elite level, they're not the gatekeepers like a Chisora. These guys could go 12 rounds. At the very least, some of them could just go at least 10 punching. You get what I'm saying? So now what Usyk gonna do? It's different, man. But it's cool though. I get it. All y'all are disrespecting me.
Bro, you doing it to yourself.
I hope Usyk stays in the heavyweight division after he gets destroyed by AJ. I hope he stays in the heavyweight division so another one in the heavyweight division can run through him. So then I can hear all of these comments like, "Yo, G, yo, we sorry, son. We didn't want no problems, yo, G."
But G, here's the problem with that logic. If we all think that AJ would beat Usyk, how does AJ destroying Usyk make you some profit?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm
just trying to be like Tyson Fury now. You see how G? Hold on. This is why people get into arguments with G. You're starting to see the real G. G makes the argument that Usyk can't box and Usyk is trash, right? Hold up. You've been talking a lot, G, uninterrupted. He makes the argument that Usyk is trash. He makes the argument that F.A. Joppa can beat Alexander Usyk. And what's going to solidify this is what Anthony Joshua does to him.
That's not what I said.
As if FA can do what Anthony Joshua does.
All right, so then now, if everybody was listening,
all of us are not picking Anthony Joshua to beat
All right. So
Anthony Joshua being Usyk doesn't prove he doesn't belong in the heavyweight division. It just proves that Anthony Joshua is a damn good fighter. That's all it proves.
So then now, this is the difference between listening to understand versus listening just to respond. I literally just said after AJ beats him, I hope he stays in the heavyweight division so another one of these guys could run through him, because I don't believe he could beat any of these guys, with maybe the exception of 2 guys, and that's only because of certain skill sets that he does have. That's why I was like, Andy Ruiz, it'll be a good fight. I think he could probably pull it off because Andy Ruiz is too flat-footed. But outside of that, a lot of these guys, when they connect, he's done. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, yeah, with the AJ thing, but I'm also bringing up other fighters. I think Wilder will run through him. Dillian Whyte will even run through him. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys, he's just not ready for it, bro. I'm just being real. But it's cool, though. I know I spent too much time on Usyk, and I feel you, G. Thank you. Somebody feel you. I really think this dude is. Yo, man, listen, man. Anybody in the heavyweight division, we eat Ukrainian soup, bro. We eat Ukrainian soup. That's all I'm saying, man. But shout out to you.
Yo, all right, TVE guys.
Man, this list is just completely disrespectful to Usyk in general. They got not only did we highlight the top 15, like they got 40 fighters listed, and Usyk is not even in the top 40 for them. So come on, it goes Gerald Washington at 40.
There must be a reason there.
And then it goes a whole bunch of no names. Then the next notable names: Junior Farr, the Asian Zili Zhang from that fought Jerry Forrest. You remember we covered that fight.
He had an asthma attack or something. He had to go to the hospital.
And then you got Huey Fury, Adam Kalinaki at 18, Kravets Pulev, Adewale. So you telling me Usyk's not better than none of these? Like, he could even make crack 20? Like, come on, man.
I think that's disrespect.
That's ridiculous. I don't know.
He should be number 10. He should be number 10.
That's the new show.
You know what I mean?
Dinner with G.
and then when you look at the top 15, when 10 through 15, Tony Yoka, he a prospect. Frank Sanchez, he could be number 11. Charles Martin, I don't think he deserves to be nowhere near the top 20. Derek Chisora, all right. Carlos Takam, whatever. Martin Barcoli, then we just see him get knocked out. I don't know, but yeah. It's just complete disrespect to Usyk. I don't respect this list at all. Usyk's a very talented fighter. I don't agree with G at all. I think Usyk can handle many of these heavyweight competitions. Embarrassed.
Like who?
I think he'll beat Joseph Parker easy. I think he'll beat easy. I think he'll outclass him easy. I think he'll outclass Andy Ruiz. I think he'll outclass Luis Ortiz. He beat Michael Hunter. I think he'll beat Joe Joyce. I think he'll embarrass Joe Joyce. It's freaking Cheetah versus Slug. That's the comparison.
I don't agree with a lot of what Ned is saying.
The Cheetah versus Slug. This is crazy.
FA's getting washed.
You're gonna beat him again.
Yes.
I actually agree with you. That and that's only because Parker doesn't have killer instinct. So Usyk might pull that off. You know
I think he beats Parker. I really just think he do. He's just talented, man. The way he moves and stuff like that. I think he beats the kid Joe Joyce again. Didn't he beat him before? He beat him again. He gonna beat him the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think it's gonna take the 2 elite guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he gets. Look, I'm not saying he's the most powerful guy. I'm just saying his skill, his athletic ability, his feet. It's going to take the top guys, the real big top guys in that division to beat this really, really talented guy. And those guys is Tyson Fury and AJ to me.
And G, just because he loses to AJ doesn't mean he's washed. Like, AJ's the best.
Yo, hold on.
Wait. Hold on, we gotta go back to the comment that G put up. G has always been wrong with most of his commentary to the point where it has become a norm to disagree with him. But on these particular instances, G is right. The hype train is gonna derail soon. G wants someone on his side so bad. He's willing to endure the fact that this guy said, G.
I know he hated on me. But he cleaned it up with love at the end, so I had to show love. But again, I never said Usyk was trash. Never came out my mouth. Never said he couldn't box. He's a spectacular boxer. I'm saying in the heavyweight division, it's just a different beast.
You think he wrote that?
Oh, man. It be your own, I tell you, boy.
Yo, now they just doing it to troll G. Like, I'm with you, G. No, I'm not. G, I'm with you. Yo, all right, check it out, man. Complex pointed this out. He said that the WBC removed Usyk because he's fighting Anthony Joshua for the other titles, and so they removed him. To me, that's one of the things I don't like in boxing. If you want to make people mandatories, then make them mandatories. And just because he's fighting Anthony Joshua, I don't believe he should be removed from the WBC list. So if that's what they're doing, then that's stupid to me. So that's why we don't get unifications. It's like your system is set up not to unify because as soon as someone's fighting for another belt, you take them off, although they earn the spot. The question should be, did Usyk earn his ranking on your list? And if he earned his ranking on your list, you shouldn't be able to remove him because he's getting another opportunity. To me, there's some fishy about that, and you shouldn't be able to do it. So with that being said, I don't understand how you can have F.A. Japa ranked number 8 over Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk beat Derek Chisora, which is a better victory than anyone F.A. Japa has fought. And I like messing around with F.A. Japa. I think he's a solid prospect. I don't necessarily see him ever being champion, but I think he's a solid prospect. But when you look at what he's accomplished in terms of resume in the ring, how can you compare that to Usyk? Usyk was undisputed in cruiserweight. Usyk moved up in weight and fought Derek Chisora in his second fight. Might I add, one of the best gatekeepers in the heavyweight division in his second fight at heavyweight. Now I watched that fight, G. I don't see Usyk being hurt. I don't see Usyk. I see Usyk doing what he had to do to slow down a vicious attack from Derek Chisora, which was so good even against the former heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. He had problems with that same attack that Usyk was able to handle. And although I scored the fight 115-113 for Usyk and for Joseph Parker, I feel like Usyk handled Derek Chisora better than Joseph Parker did, and that's the former heavyweight champion of the world. So we're sitting around here talking about Usyk like Usyk is some bum. All I know is Usyk wins. All Usyk does is win. Okay, so how can we sit here and try to downplay the man? If he was ranked, he deserves to be ranked. You shouldn't move him off no list. You shouldn't take him off no list because he's going to get another opportunity. If you earn the ranking, you earn the ranking. So with that being said, to me, I think it's ridiculous. I think the shots that G takes at Usyk are ridiculous. And I just want to say, Boxer Bros Ukraine, salute. I want to say to the Ukrainian government, we got nothing but love for you, so
same here.
Please don't strike no-fly zone for G, but we may be in that plane. So please take that into consideration. You hurting G is like hurting us. Okay, so I want to say to all the Ukrainian supporters and all the Ukrainian Boxer Bros, if you see G and G's out there by himself, please give him a pass. Please. Because if you hurt G, it's like hurting us. So just please give G a pass. That's right. Shout out to Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. Please give G a pass.
Yo, I love you, bro, as a fighter. I love you as a fighter.
G I'm gonna have to order all G's food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh man.
He jumped out, no parachute, man.
All right, so let's get to the next topic. Arlette, I ain't gonna front. I'm to go in. Terence Crawford versus Zepeda in October. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Arlette.
It's bad. Hold on a second. Just give me a second. So Crawford to fight Zepeda on October 23rd. Then after that, Josh Taylor in early 2022.
Yeah, and so basically what this article is saying is it's looking like Terence Crawford's going to fight Jose Zepeda, Eva, it's sometime in October, most likely October 23rd. And then afterwards, they're going to set up the fight for between Josh Taylor and Terence Crawford at 147 pounds. So that's that. So now, Conspiracy, what's your reaction to Terence Crawford fighting Jose Zepeda and then possibly fighting Josh Taylor after that?
When I see these options, what it tells me is your boy is literally re-signing with Top Rank. And I remember all that you definitely said on our chat one time, if he re-signs with Top Rank, you're done. You know, so I don't know, man. This is kind of crazy because it sounds like he's staying with Bob.
Hold on. I'm sorry, G. Sorry. Is this so? What are we bragging about this? Think we excited about this? This is like, I'm like, go ahead, G.
Yeah, hey man, listen. All I'm saying is this is kind of crazy. Out of all the disrespect Bob done said to this guy, his team, and everything, he's staying right with Top Rank. I feel like he should just go to PBC, man. So, okay, yeah, he's gonna be Zepeda. I do think the Josh Taylor fight is gonna be a great fight, you know, like. But again, for him to do that, he has to stay with Bob, and that's crazy to me, man. So, TC, man, I'm disappointed, man. But hey, good luck with your career.
Dollar Bill, you look very intrigued, so I'm gonna go to you.
When I first read the topic, right, I was jumping out the window and like, yeah, y'all know what it is. Trail Nostradamus is the man, right? But then I had to read what you said. You said Crawford versus Zepeda, right? I thought y'all was gonna say Josh Taylor versus Zepeda, because no, I'm serious. Because that's what we was talking about on who should Josh Taylor fight next. And I just said this kid Zepeda, he's at 140. Josh is at 140. They 140 fighters, and this kid Zepeda been waiting to fight this fight for this belt. He's been mandatory for that belt for 2 fights now, right? And he fought the eliminator the fight for 140-pound title. 140-pound title. 140-pound title. TC's 140-pound title. This is my problem. I have nothing but love for Bud Crawford, and this is where it got crazy. Where I think the miscommunication where our viewers came in. It wasn't hatred that we had for TC. It was frustration. You know what I'm saying? No, all that. We would not dump on it. I was always said that I want him to fight a true 147-pounder so they can put some respect on his name. So we can sit out here and really be defending him for something. Because this is what they tend to do, right? Once you get to the top and then they start really taking away from what you really done. I want him to get the credit, and he'll really want him to deserve this credit. But he's not going to get it when all these other guys at 147 are fighting 147-pounders, and he's fighting guys at 135 and 140.
All weight draining themselves to come down to a division they haven't fought at in like 2 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's exactly. And so it makes his wins, it starts taking away from his wins, and it starts taking away from his legacy. And it starts, we got nothing but love for TC. We just want him to help himself. Like, of course, we know you making your money and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to boxing and it comes to legacy and stuff like that, people are going to say who you fought. And who
Stop,
did
stop,
he say
stop, stop. I'm sorry. Stop, but let me just hop in for a second because this.
Yeah,
Are you serious with yourself? You realize that Danny Garcia was the lineal 140-pound champion, and when he was 140-pound champion, your boy TC won and none. I see you say this argument all the time like it's gold, and I let it slide. But since I caught you at the right time on the right day, Arlette, you do know Danny Garcia was the lineal 140-pound champion, right? And when he moved up, that's when your boy TC moved up and cleaned out a 140-pound division devoid of Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, and Peterson, Lamont Peterson, and all those killers. When they were at 140, TC was nowhere to be found. The lineal was Danny Garcia. Then Danny Garcia moved up to 147. And oh, by the way, you ever heard of Roberto Guerrero? You ever heard of him? That's a legitimate 147-pounder that Danny Garcia beat. So like let's not stop. No, TC was not lineal because Danny moved up. That's what I'm talking about. So see, so this is what I mean. When people want to say all this stuff, come on, man, be real with yourself. Danny Garcia beat better fighters than your boy TC. Facts. Lamont Peterson, Lucas Matisse are better than anyone that your boy TC has beaten. Facts. Y'all can't even name anyone TC beat without going to box rec. Get the hell out of here.
He's gonna fight Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna put him in there. Listen, this is what I don't know. Well, whatever. I just want to put some respect. I want them to put some respect on the homie TC's name. That's it. And he's not gonna get that respect fighting 135 or 140.
Hold on. Someone named Gamboa. The guy being passed around right now.
Yo, I was hoping they wasn't gonna mention Gamboa, who came for 135.
The guy who moved up, being passed around right now. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, he's a more in the fact that he cleaned out a 140-pound division that was so weak. They got another undisputed at 140 in like 2 years. So that division is so easy to clean up. TC left and it got cleaned up by Josh Taylor right now. And now they're talking about making those guys fight each other. Again, no one in that division is as good as Lucas Matisse, is as good as Lamont Peterson.
Every time they mention somebody like, oh, who they beat, who they fight. If you're going to say, oh, TC beat this, tell me who that person beat. Y'all know for a fact that TC hasn't been given the opportunity to go against a real live dog. I'm not saying that he doesn't win.
All right.
I'm not saying that he doesn't win.
All right. Danny Garcia knocked out Amir Khan when he was Amir Khan at 140. Okay, and your boy TC did it later on when Amir Khan was washed up and after he'd been knocked out another time by Canelo. You want to sit here and say Danny fought bums. If Danny fought bums, then what did TC fight? Because he fought Danny's leftovers. Like, come on, man, be real with yourself at the end of the day. Like, you want to sit here and say all this stuff. Danny beat Amir Khan when it was impressive. Danny beat Lucas Matisse when it was impressive. Danny beat Lamont Peterson when it was impressive. And oh, by the way, he moved up in weight and fought real 147-pounders like Keith Thurman. So he lost to Keith Thurman, but at least he had the balls to step in the ring with Keith Thurman. And then he went and fought Sean Porter. In a fight, I believe he beat Sean Porter, but at least he had the balls to step in the ring with Sean Porter. Then after that, he fought Earl Spence. He lost to Earl Spence, but at least he had the balls to step in the ring with them. Your boy TC's fighting guys who are smaller than him, making guys kill himself and starve himself to make weight. Why don't he fight one of the elite names in welterweight division? When he does that, your boy's gonna lose too.
Spot on. I'm just saying, yo, the way TC been moving is real. I don't. It's embarrassing, man. Like TC, yo, you're holding up all the big fights. You ain't trying to take on none of.
Hold up. See, I like this. So Gamboa was schooling TC on everyone's scorecards. Gamboa was beating TC until TC knocked him out. But you only hold it against Danny. Kell Brook was beating Terence Crawford until he knocked him out. So think about that. Little tiny Gamboa was schooling TC. Old washed up, 2 broken orbital bones. Kell Brook was schooling TC. But you give TC credit for that, though.
My man who got 50 Cent was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? My man who got shot up was doing his thing against TC.
One thing
I mean, y'all don't see how biased y'all are. Y'all don't see the hypocrisies in your argument. But when you come here, you got to have it together. That's all I'm saying.
I will say this. I'm gonna say I actually agree with you. Lamar Peterson, I did believe beat Danny Garcia. In my opinion,
he lost.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He activated too late, but that fight was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But still, that doesn't negate Danny's greatness, though, because even if he's losing, you have to give respect to the person that's willing to take elite level fights. If TC is not trying to fight the elite level names in the welterweight division, it's kind of like, yo, it's hard to make an argument for him. You know, like you can't compare TC to like a Danny or a Spence and try to bash these guys when these guys are actually fighting killers. When you fight killers, even if you lose, you can't be like, oh, well, he's undefeated when he's fighting. And I'm not even going to disrespect these guys, but they're not elite level dudes that he's beating up. And even if they were elite level, they were.
Exactly, Jake.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. I don't know, man. You got to put more respect on Danny Garcia's name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You got it for, bro.
No, I know it. No, you said it. I just don't see why people be like, oh yeah, hey, nah. We just want him to put himself in a good light. That's it.
Keep speaking sense for us.
That's it.
Oh, man.
We got love for TC, man. But
I don't even remember whose turn it was. Whose turn was it?
It's me, but yo, that was a lot said. I just want to say, TC, you're moving like a cornball, man, and man, I don't like it at all, yo, man. Like, it's just like we could have had so many good fights, and like TC, the way you're being managed right now, you gotta look at it. You wanted to fight with Pacquiao, couldn't get it. You wanted to fight with you couldn't get a fight with none of the guys with PVC. You couldn't get a fight with Sean Porter. You couldn't get a fight with Keith Thurman. You couldn't make those fights happen. You were trying to. We wanted the Spence fight. Clearly you're avoiding it. I'm not even. Spence was. Irish Boxing Bros, leave me alone. Oh well, yeah, whatever. Clearly, Spence was out here trying to make big fights happen. You was out here with you had your own plans. And now look at everything backfire. You're moving back. You're fighting these smaller fighters. You're not fighting the leading. You're not fighting the best in your division. And it just seems real corny. And I'm tired of. Like Trills is tired of Fury and Wilder. I'm tired of TC, man. TC, shut up, bro. Like, get out of here.
I don't, Arlette. Maybe you misunderstand what I'm saying. I think that TC could beat Danny in a fight, but to trash Danny isn't fair because Danny's taking on the more elite competition than TC is. That's all I'm saying.
It's just way better. It's like you can't even. I don't even. You know what I'm saying? I be thinking. All that ain't serious. She just be joking sometimes. She just
bro, just like TC. It's just like G when we talk about Wilder. He got the Wilder. All that got the TC standard. All that got the TC standard. So it is what it is. Like, you know what, S-Man, this could be very. I'm with you. But you know how I know that? You know how I know? Here's what I do know, bro. I know where Danny stands in the welterweight division because he's fought everybody. Mm-hmm. Danny has fought Thurman, he's fought Porter, he's fought Spence. So now I can legitimately say that he can't beat those guys. But TC never fought him, so all we got speculation. I'm not with the speculation. TC has to prove he's a better fighter by beating Thurman, by beating Porter, by beating Spence. TC don't even step in the ring with those guys. Then everyone says, well, they're running from TC. Okay, well, then let's talk about the guys he does step in the ring with. Zepeda. Velasquez knocked down the big bad TC. Velasquez. Come on, man. Like, when are we going to be real? Like, yo, he's not. It's not even the fact that TC's not fighting the elite, right? TC's fighting bottom feeders in compare. Like, you know, I'm sure PBC would love to throw TC Jerome Boost in it. He won't take it. Like,
you know what? I know all that is just trolling. When she said Danny went life and death with Ivan Redcalf.
Yo, you lying. She didn't say that.
Yes, she did. She's the best.
Yo,
she's just joking. But I do want to say
A1 trolling right there. That's A1 trolling.
Yo, hit all the say, I'll leave it alone. Zepeda, I'm not surprised, bro. I've been calling it out. Remember, I called this out. You want to call us haters? I told TC about leverage. I said all this. I said he was going to have no options. His only option now is to fight Zepeda on Friday on ESPN Friday Night Fights or ESPN basic cable fighter who can't move no units. He's going to fight Zepeda. Then they're going to take TC to Scotland, to Josh Taylor's country, because Josh Taylor moves units and TC can't. And they're going to hope the UK buys that fight because Josh Taylor's the A side in that fight. TC's reduced the B side to Josh Taylor. Kind of makes you wish you were B side to Earl Spence and Manny Pacquiao, but look at what your ego got you. A trip to Scotland. Salute.
Yeah. And one thing I just want to add in. I see something dope before we get in there. It's about Danny, because you said something about Danny. He's willing to take the tough fights, even if he's losing. And he's also willing. I see Chanel, she wrote something in here, and he's moving to 154 pounds. He's even still willing to go up to challenge himself. You got to give Danny Garcia some respect. You got to show him some love.
Well, hold on. Tainted the same numbers last week that TC, but no says
we got a topic on that, so we'll follow up some more on that.
Next topic, since the next topic was literally Josh Taylor versus TC in Scotland. Since you kind of already brushed on it,
yeah, you already eat the that.
Yeah, we spent enough time. We spent enough time on TC. This next topic will probably get better numbers.
All right, so hold on, let me just pull it up on. Hold on 1 second, fellas. Let me. This this is my man at 160, 168. You feel me? So just give me a second. All right. Oh, wait a minute. First, hold on. Topic. I forgot to share the topic. Benavidez says he would go to 160 to fight Jermell Charlo. So hold on.
I should say Jamal, I believe. But that's probably so.
Hey man, Charlo. You know what I mean? All right, so y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
You guys coming down at 160 for Jermell Charlo fight. David Benavidez, 24-0, 21 knockouts, says he will cut weight to get down to 160 to take on WBC middleweight champion Jermell Charlo. It won't be easy for the 6'2 Benavidez to melt down to 160 because he struggles as is to make 168. Yeah, that's enough. But
yeah, that's good enough. In the article, Benavidez does say that he's willing to do it. He said that, Jamal's always saying that he sees flaws in people's game, but after seeing the fight with Montel, he saw flaws in Charlo, and he said he's willing to make the fight. He wants to make the big fights happen. So, this is your dude. All of a sudden. So, what's your thoughts on David Benavidez seeing him go down to 160 to fight Jermell Charlo?
He's my guy, but he's lying. He ain't gonna make weight, bro. He ain't gonna make weight. I have to keep him 100. He ain't gonna make weight. He gonna struggle though, but he ain't gonna make it, man. He Yo, he missed the last time he got stripped of his belt because he couldn't even make 168. So for him to get down to 160, and let me first say this. I respect David Benavidez a lot because he's struggling to make these big fights. He's willing to go down to 160 because nobody wants to fight him at 168. He's been calling out damn near everybody. Nobody's giving him an opportunity. So he's like, you know what? If I got to do a water fast to make 160, I'm going to do it just to get my opportunity with Charlo. So I got to respect that. I don't think he's going to do it. And even if he does make that weight, he'll be too weight drained, and I feel like he'll lose. And I don't want to say it, but I gotta keep it 100, man. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Like David, man, just unless they want to do some type of catch weight or something, which I doubt Charlo's gonna agree to. So I just feel like that's really, really, really dangerous for Benavidez. But I still respect his hustle. I'm gonna watch that fight. And for a guy to struggle to make it to 160, I think it should be pay-per-view. I doubt it will be, but it should be because. If he loses, I hope he gets well compensated for it. But salute to both gentlemen.
Dollar bit.
I got so many jokes right now. Y'all know anything. Yeah, he can make the weight. You know how he got banned the first time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know he can make the weight, David.
Remember what I called him? David Coco Benavidez. You know what I'm saying?
You know what he got to do to make the weight, David.
Rein in those jokes, please. Thank you.
Don't want to offend anybody.
No, I'm not.
These are just jokes, people.
Yeah, it's just jokes. It's just jokes, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just jokes. But listen, I don't see it happen, and I don't see him making 160. I think he's just talking. He can barely have a hard time making 168. You know what I'm saying? Listen, but hey, he's trying to keep his name out there. He's trying to keep his name out there because what's going on at the 168, he can't get a fight. Everything's tied up right there. He got Plin and Canelo. They're going to do their things. Listen, if anything, like somebody just said, he should try to move up to 175, but going down to 160, I don't think he can do it. Even with the stuff he was once got in trouble for, I don't see that even helping him. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this, David Benavidez, I see what you're doing, and you just keep your name out there, but just be healthy, be smart. If you can sit around and try to see who can wait around at 160, if not, man, I think it's time for you to move up to 175 just because of the type of frame you have. And then you will probably only have 2 fights there before you you know what I'm saying? But just because you have a big frame. But if you want some real competition and some real smoke, what somebody said, my man S-Man said, go to 175, But I don't see 160 at all.
TB.
Yeah, I agree with my co-host. Like, yo, don't even try to play yourself right here, trying to like go down even more in weight, which is hard enough for you to do in the first place. Just go up in weight, go on, try to take over 175 and fight those guys over there. You already got the size for it, and it's just I don't know. It's like that's like your sweet spot. Like if you could stay at that weight during training camp, during the off season or whatever, do that, man, because that seems like where you need to be. Because clearly you can't do it at 168 and 160. That's just like, how long is that gonna last? Like, and you probably do more harm than good. So yeah, just move up.
Just do it, man. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm hearing my tolerance for all these so-called fights that won't happen. You got people running up on people for videos saying they want to fight them, betting millions of dollars on the line, and then when it comes time, the fight don't happen. You got people saying they're gonna move down in weight. You got people saying they're gonna do this. I love that guy Canelo Alvarez because he don't have to talk about it. He just make them fights happen. And that's what I like. At the end of the day, Benavidez lost his belt on the scale. He's trying to make himself relevant again. He could have been a player. He could have been a real player in this 168-pound game. and he could have been getting some of that Canelo money, but instead he lost it in the worst way. He gave Canelo the belt without getting any money, fam. Like, it's just Canelo got your belt and you didn't make no money. It's the worst thing that could happen if you're David Benavidez. So now you try to think of the fastest way to get yourself back into the game, get yourself back into the mix. And he's thinking, well, maybe I can get Charlo and maybe I can go to 160. But if I'm Charlo, I got to look around and say, well, why would I fight Benavidez? If that man Triple G agrees to fight Charlo, that's a bigger fight. You know, and even if he can't get Triple G, I believe that a fight with Demetrius Andrade will be a pretty big fight. Demetrius Andrade's a very talented fighter, and Charlo's a very talented fighter. I think that fight would be, you know, that's one of those fights where I think talent, people are going to want to see that fight because of the talent, and that's going to be a fighter's fight. Like, you're going to see a lot of fighters at that fight, and I think you'll see a lot of celebs at that fight. So I think, you know, David Benavidez, like I said, he's 6'2". He's already tall for 160, for 168. And now he wants to make weight. You have a bad track record of making weight. And I think there are bigger fights out there for Jermell Charlo. And I think he should focus on cleaning up the 160-pound division. And sadly, Benavidez, you're just going to have to work your way back into a title shot in the 168-pound division. That's what I see it.
Or my man, Rich Phoenix, you, my brother. This was the fight that I was thinking of too would be a great, great, great match. Benavidez versus Gilbert Ramirez at 175. I think that will be a spectacular fight. Mexico will go crazy. California, Texas, wherever you had at, it will go crazy and it will do numbers. I just seen this fight on Friday against Sullivan Barrera, and he was exciting and it was crazy. Everybody was going crazy. That right there, if they can make that fight, I think that could be a huge, huge fight.
Yeah, but there's no money at 175. That's the only thing. You know what I mean? Like,
it will be money. These guys will make money for this fight. This is for Mexico. This is a huge fight. And especially when I seen that venue for Gilbert Ramirez. Did y'all watch that fight on Friday on the Zone?
It's also on Friday. And I mean, in comparison to these, I'm not saying it's not.
That's a great fight.
It's probably a good fight if you can't land one of the big fish. But
I'm saying he definitely can't get one of these big
fish. Yeah. In that case, that's a good fight for him. In terms of building himself back up, he needs to build himself back up. But I don't think he's going to land one of the big fish. It just doesn't make any sense right now for them to fight him.
Benavidez versus the PR knockout guy, Belenga.
Belenga is not taking any fights right now. Okay,
David should take that fight. And the only reason why, although Belenga shouldn't take it, David needs something, man. He needs to stay active. And if Belenga's foolish enough to take that fight, I say make it happen at 168.
If Benavidez is foolish enough to take that fight, but Belenga's not taking that fight right now because Belenga has other things he's doing.
Got you. Right. All right, let's go to the next topic. You know what I mean? So next up, Oscar wants to fight Canelo Alvarez or Floyd Mayweather. Hold on 1 second. Yo, Dan, your laugh is crazy.
Nah, just...
All right, so it says, quote,
if you skip it over the videos there.
Oh,
of these fights, you know, I want to do. Hold on. I want to do 2 of these fights, and then guess what? I want to do a real fight, a 12-round fight with either Floyd or Canelo.
I never heard that thing. Good.
I want to do 2 of these fights, you know. I want to do. Hold on. And then guess what? A real fight. 12 rounds with either Floyd or Canelo.
This guy different, bro.
Dollar Bill, man, I'm coming to you, brother. What's your reaction to He's saying he wants to do 2 exhibitions, and then after that, he wants either Floyd Mayweather or Canelo Alvarez.
Was he hanging out with Benavidez? I'm just joking. It's just jokes. Shout out to Oscar, man. Stay away from Saul. Like, the boy's gonna hurt you bad, man. Stay away from Saul. I could entertain another fight with Floyd. I bet you there's some people that will come out to watch that fight and want to see that. But leave the boy Saul alone. You know what I'm saying? Leave the boy Saul alone, please. You know. But I'm sure people will come out to see Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya do it again. That's cute. What G would say. You know what I'm saying? And I think people will come out and see that, even though, they'll talk crap, but it's still, Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather. But I think it's really dangerous to get in there with Saul. You know what I'm saying? I really do. But shout outs to Oscar De La Hoya. He's still going out there and trying to test himself and prove that he's a warrior. Because we all know we got all these jokes about Oscar. We got all these jokes about Oscar and the things he did, But we all know Oscar's a dog. You know what I'm saying? We got the jokes on Oscar, but Oscar's a dog. He's proved that he's a warrior. You know what I'm saying? And he proved that he's a legend. So I was just shout out to Oscar, man. But stay away from Saul.
Conspiracy.
Yo, I'm being
He's trying to get that bag.
I'm being real. I don't necessarily want to see him against Floyd, but I would pay to see him against Canelo. To see what Canelo would do to that man. Every punch is gonna be directed at Golden Boy. It's gonna be bad, son. Like, you seen what he did to that UK boy's bicep. You know what I'm saying? You seen what he did to homeboy, the other UK guy's orbital bone. Man, listen. Oh my God, he gonna snap that taco in half. It's gonna be bad. I need to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, Canelo, do it for us, man. Listen, go savage mode on Oscar. Oscar's bugging. He has a death wish. In my humble opinion, Oscar, you're better off messing with Floyd, because at least you'll lose, but you're not gonna really lose your faculties. You know what I'm saying? You go up against Canelo, man. He's taking your face clean off, man. So set up that fight, man. I would love to see it. Yeah, exactly, Rachel. Maximum violence. Listen, every punch is gonna be made with cruel intentions. Like, Oscar's different. Yo, Oscar, man, what's wrong with honestly, I agree with you, Trill. The Coco brothers, man. Him and
the views and opinions of me and Trill. I'm not reflecting about the road as a whole and all the other faces you see on the screen. I let it go too many times. I let it go too many times.
I'm done, man.
Listen, I was thinking, man, Oscar's tripping, but way G put it, I would love to see Canelo beat up on this end. We already know what Floyd, they're just gonna have a little exhibition. Floyd may knock him out. Floyd, they might do it just for the sports, for the good memories and everything, just to like entertain the fans. But him versus Canelo, that would be big for Mexico, just like we just saw Chavez Sr. versus John Blinks again. Just that exhibition that just happened, that was big for Mexico. This would be big. They would love it, huh?
That wasn't big for Mexico. That was a good fight.
They didn't get views over here, but they got views over there.
Chavez Sr. Yeah. But that wasn't big for Mexico. But I get where you're going, bro. I get where you're going.
Yeah, I would love to see, Oscar want to enjoy his Cocoa Puffs through a straw, so
Really? Oh my God.
Okay.
The man do not reflect the box of roses as a whole and all the other faces you see on the screen. Although apparently at this point I'm the only face who hasn't.
I know. What up, my man Lil Jacobs? My man Lil Jacob, he's crazy. Lil Jacob has me dying right now.
I love to see this fight, Canelo gonna give it to the man, So, man, Oscar, if you want to do it to yourself, go ahead, man. I ain't stopping you.
Yeah,
I just see
Lil Jacob, man.
Oh man, y'all are crazy.
This chat is savage.
Y'all are crazy.
Look, man, it's so crazy when you look at it now because you look at Oscar De La Hoya when he was trending for what happened during the fight on Triller, his commentary on the fight in Triller. Like, it's hard to believe. Like, that's the dude who was in there with just about everyone you can think of. Duck nobody. Like, I mean, legendary fight with Trinidad, Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, even try to come down and wait to fight Manny Pacquiao. Like, this guy, Oscar De La Hoya, is a legend. And then you see him now, and it's like these exhibitions and these types of fights, they're a way for fighters to make money. But the question is that the last way you want to be remembered, right? You think of Floyd Mayweather beating Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, even in his last fight with Andre Berto, he still looked really good. And then you think of the last fight you saw Floyd Mayweather, and that's him with Logan Paul. Is that the last image you want of Floyd? So I think the thing the theme is going to be, how do these legends want to be remembered? Like, do they want the last image of people to be them in these exhibitions and doing whatever? Now, when it comes to Oscar, he's always going to have the warrior mentality. And it's up for us. And when I say us, I really mean like the commissioner. I mean like the $1 trillion bills of the world to protect Oscar from himself. If people sanction a fight between Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo Alvarez, that's not Oscar's fault for wanting to fight.
Facts.
But at some point, one of these guys are going to get hurt really badly. And you're going to have to look in the mirror and say, like, you allow that to happen for the dollars. There's no doubt in my mind a fight between
Dollar Bill is not sanctioning this fight.
What you say, bro? What you say, bro?
I said Dollar Bill is not sanctioning this fight. The commission
unfortunately, man, they're going to another commission. And that commission probably will sanction that fight.
Yeah, I'll make it happen, man. Yo, man.
They're not going to you. They go
horrible, man.
But listen, and remember, what's his name? Canelo lost a belt messing with Golden Boy, so he gotta get paid back on that. And they try to hustle him out of his multi-million-dollar contract. If y'all don't remember, so I'm just saying, yo, get back. I will co-sign that fight. I'll be like, hey, blessings, brother. Do your worst. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever, man.
Yeah,
we eating dirty tacos that night. You know what I'm saying? Tacos,
I don't know about you, but I like my tacos clean.
Just scared.
But
eating frosted covered tacos, B. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
When Oscar wants to fight, it's the warrior mentality. I think once a warrior, always a warrior. These guys are always going to think they can pull it off. They're always going to think they got one last hurrah in them. And of course, Oscar looks at Canelo when he thinks that he can beat Canelo. I'm sure he looks at Canelo when he thinks he can beat Canelo. And, Canelo would love nothing more than to knock out Oscar for the reasons that G stated. This is the poster for when your idols become your rivals. Canelo used to idolize Oscar De La Hoya, and now he and Oscar are not vibing with one another, and they would love to punch each other in the face. That fight would sell. Floyd Mayweather and Oscar, I think that's a better fight, because they're both older, they're both former professional fighters, and I think that's more of a fair fight, even if that's an exhibition that they wanted to do. But I really do hope that Oscar De La Hoya stays away from Canelo, because if he thinks that body shot that Bernard Hopkins landed stopped him, I think he's in for a rude awakening with a left hook to the body from Canelo, especially at his age now.
Yo, man, Canelo's gonna be eating Mexican livers. I'm just followed by a Mexican kidney. With a couple of Mexican salads. All right, yo, let me get back to focus. So now let's talk about this. Oscar says Tank only did 90,000 pay-per-view buys. Hold on 1 second. Let me share my screen. So I actually have 2 articles, so just bear with me. So the first one actually says, that it was reported that Gervonta Davis versus Mario Barrios reportedly brings in approximately 210 to 215,000 pay-per-view buys. But and this is according to boxing247.com, Mayweather's promotion CEO reacts to De La Hoya saying Tank versus Barrios brought only 90,000 buys. Hold on. Mayweather promotion CEO Leonard Ellaby reacted angrily on Wednesday to Golden Boy Promotion CEO Oscar De La Hoya, telling the media that his sources reveal that the Gervonta Davis versus Mario Barrios fight pulled in only 90,000 pay-per-view buys on Showtime on June 26th, not the 215,000 that was previously reported. Should I just continue on, or? Oh, wait,
no, that's fine. Basically, Mike Carpenter of ESPN reported that Gervonta Davis versus Barrios pulled in 215,000 pay-per-view buys, but Oscar De La Hoya is saying,
I got the quote right here.
Yeah, there's the quote from Oscar. There you go, Jay.
Yeah, so it goes, quote, I know for a fact that Gervonta's fight, I think, from my sources, did about maybe 50,000 pay-per-view buys home and 40,000 digitals. So he's pretty much saying only 90,000 in a combination of home buys and digital buys.
Yeah, he said that the fight hype. So De La Hoya's quote, the source is fight hype. The 215,000 pay-per-view buys from Gervonta Davis and Barrios, that source is Mike Carpenter from ESPN. True Dog Bill, man, what's your reaction to who do you believe? According to ESPN and Mike Carpenter, David Barrios sold 215,000 pay-per-view buys, but according to Oscar De La Hoya and his sources, it only sold 90,000.
The push man can't count as your source, Oscar. Okay.
Hold on. You said the pusher man can't count as a source?
It's not the source on the fight.
The views and opinions of Trill.
I'm sorry. Oscar did it. You know what I'm saying? He made it too easy. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Listen, Oscar, stop it. I'm gonna believe ESPN's numbers, you know what I'm saying? And they don't have no reason to lie, and they, you know what I'm saying, they just, putting out the numbers of their ops. You know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna lie, but I'm not mad at Tank. Shout out to Tank. Tank would have sold more, but everybody was at the fight. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like everybody showed up at the fight. You know what I mean? Everybody, I was looking in the crowd, I see everybody at the fight. So shout outs to Tank, man. That's just Oscar being Oscar. And look, Canelo's still mad at you, Oscar, for giving him that fake blueprint for Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Pull it out the vault.
He pulled these fake numbers out the vault too. You know what I'm saying? So stop it, Oscar. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to see this fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to see this fight between him and Floyd. I can entertain that fight. Because you just be hating on Floyd and anytime you get. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
IG?
Yeah, I actually do believe it was 200,000 pay-per-view buys. And if the visual of that arena, like if that is any indication of the popularity of this fight, then I have to believe it was 200. I don't believe it was 90,000. And I'm curious to know where did De La Hoya, who's his source, one, and how did he get access to this quote unquote source? I kind of feel like, especially with like Showtime and pay-per-view, they don't go to pay-per-view unless they know they're gonna make a return on investment. So 90,000, I kind of feel like to me, that means it's a flop. But however, 200 200,000 pay-per-view buys for a 140-pound fight. Those are great numbers. Like, that's a division that really doesn't even do pay-per-views. Like, let's just be real, you know? So, like, the welterweight division, pay-per-views. You know, the heavyweight division, pay-per-views. Like, 140 is nobody's looking at the 140 division. Tank went up to the 140 division, did that pay-per-view, and did some impressive numbers for that division. So you got to give Tank that credit, you know. I just don't believe Oscar, but if in fact it was 90, man, that's a hit. You know what I mean? And I know Showtime gonna be tight, you know, but I just don't believe that. Every like interview or conversation that I've heard from Ellaby sounds like it was a success. I don't think he'll be bragging about success if it was only 90,000. So yeah, I have to believe Tank's team on this one opposed to Oscar.
TBE.
Yeah, man. Oscar, your source is not reliable, and I can't take a guy who says he wants to fight Canelo next, or wants to fight Canelo in the near future serious when, you know, you have a history of, you know, being vulnerable to certain vices. But, you know, I'm not even gonna go there. I it's been reported by big companies that what their numbers they made. So you coming out saying 90K, it's just like it seems like you hate him. So I don't respect it at all. Oscar, get out of here.
So a few things, man, because I saw like people showing up to the fights. Yes, that matters. Like selling out an arena in your hometown is one thing, but like when you sell out an arena in like Vegas or one of the major cities and you have celebs ringside, like you got, you know, athletes, entertainers, you have a who's who in your on the floor seats, you have cameras panning out to actual celebrities. That does matter, because what happens is, you know, these people are tweeting about it, you know, these people are commenting about it. And if you want to know the power of one tweet, look at T Grizzly. Is a rapper. He has a song, First Day Out. I never knew who this dude was. LeBron posted a video of him with like a very low, almost bald haircut, right? And was rapping the lyrics to T Grizzly. And T Grizzly took off. That song took off. T Grizzly made bank. T Grizzly had a bag full of money at the airport. They ran up on him, and he was the first thing he did was say, "Thank you, LeBron. LeBron, thank you. You played that song." And like, yo, my man was like praising LeBron.
LeBron
LeBron. You know, selling out an arena is one thing, but who's in that arena matters, because when you got 3 people in the arena and you total all their followers together, and that spans at like 50 million plus, you got to look at all the people who they're tweeting and they're talking about this fight. It matters. And if it matters to those people, then it matters to the casual. You know why? Because they are the influencers. When the influencers are interested in what you do, that's called good business. That is good for business. So you can't sit here and try to downplay Tank, because the people who influence the casuals are interested in Tank. That's one. 2, you know this by seeing who shows up at his fight. The first time Denzel shows up to TC's fight, I'm going to salute him. When you show me Magic Johnson, TC, and all these people, Magic Johnson, all that at TC fight, I'm going to salute him. But I haven't seen it yet. Tank brings him out. And someone pointed out, like, Tank has, I saw in the comment section, like, oh, Tank only brings out, like, the hip-hop crowd or whatever. What's wrong with that? When a fighter only generates money in the UK, we don't hate on him. Mm-hmm. Right? When a Polish fighter only brings out the Polish community, we don't hate on him. Why are you mad at Tank? Because he brings out the hip-hop community. He's captured the imagination of a community. He's not the only one to capture the imagination of the hip-hop community. Mike Tyson did it.
Zab Judah did it.
Exactly. Zab Judah did it. Floyd Mayweather did it. So don't get mad at him because the community supports him. You don't get mad at anyone else for their community supporting them. So why are you mad at Tank for his community supporting him? At the end of the day, I believe the 215,000 pay-per-view buys because it came from ESPN and not PBC. ESPN and PBC are two separate entities. Now, if you told me ESPN lied about the numbers, you know what I'm saying, about TC fight, I'll believe you. If you told me that ESPN lied about the numbers of the Josh Taylor fight, I believe you. A Teofimo Lopez fight, I believe you, because they have interest in that. But why would they gas up a Gervonta Tank Davis numbers? It doesn't do them any good. So Oscar De La Hoya, it does do you some good to downplay Tank's numbers, because you got a guy, Ryan Garcia, who you want to believe is a bigger star than Gervonta Tank Davis. But at the end of the day, Tank's been fighting on pay-per-view. Tank's been selling out arenas. Superstars and influencers show up to Tank's fights. And you know this because of who's who tweet about his fights in live time, which lets you know he's capturing the imagination of the public. And I get it. You think his resume's weak. You think he's going after fake champions. But at the end of the day, money talks. And Tank is speaking loudly. And the community is supporting Tank. And people want to see Tank, regardless of what you think. That 200K, I believe that's real. And I believe it's only going to go up depending on the level of competition and depending on who's the opponent for Gervonta Davis.
The money's always been in hip-hop. Money's always been in hip-hop. And he had the #1 star in rap right now bringing him to the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a question, though. This I actually thought it was interesting. Kaden, no one is hating on Tank for the black community supporting him. So when TC did 200, he was a pay-per-view failure, but Tank is a success for 200.
TC never did 200.
Yeah,
TC did 200 in total with 2 pay-per-view fights. One did 60,000, the other did 150. So look it up.
And not to mention, TC's in the welterweight division, creme de la creme division of pay-per-view, and he's doing low numbers.
And his fights were title unification fights. And here's the deal, right? Y'all want to sit here and just know what you're saying. TC sold 200,000 pay-per-view buys in total in 2 pay-per-views. Gervonta Davis did it in 1. That's why we're giving him more credit than TC. Next question.
All right, man, forget the next question. Let's go to the next topic. You know what I'm saying? So, next up, is actually Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano predictions. I hope I spelled.
Our lead predictor, who's been killing it, Ned the TBE, has been on the money. Salute to Ned. Ned say y'all gonna make me lead. I'ma lead right. Ned the TBE. Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano for undisputed at 154 pounds. Who you got?
I got my man. Well, I ain't gonna call him my man, but I got Jermell Charlo beating Brian Castano for undisputed, easy by knockout, probably 7th round.
7th round.
All right, my man. All right, we're gonna turn it over to Trill, Dollar Bill. Who you got?
I got Mel. I got Mel. Mel. I got Jermell. And I see that he does it. And I think he gets it done by decision. You know, I'm sure he can stop him. I have to see this going to decision. But here's the thing. If y'all haven't had an opportunity to go watch the All Access with Jermell versus Katana Bryan, please go watch it. Mel. That, my brother, that is what people been waiting for. Now hit me up. Now hit me up on IG. Because that right there, my brother, was what people been waiting for. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Seeing you and seeing your brother get back on point and the things that you said, and I love how you switched that energy and you already knew what it is. Back with your brother. Back, man, listen. Nothing but love for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, brothers, really. Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Maul. It was great seeing the brothers back together. It did something, warm my heart up. Warm my heart up. And that's the Mel. That's the Mel right there that I love. going Jermell. I feel like he gonna beat on this guy. He gonna get that undisputed.
All right, Castano G.
Yeah, I also agree with my co-host. I got Charlo, but by decision. That Castano kid, man, he's pretty fast. He has hard punches, so I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park. You know, that Argentinian kid he's focused right now, so I think it's gonna go to decision. I did watch that All Access. I thought it was dope too. You know, shout out to Mama Love. You know what I mean? Mama Charlo got them back together with that because they showed Jermell the interview that the moms did. The other one, and while he's getting a haircut, and you can tell it. You know what I mean? It touched a nerve. Like he's like
his mother. He said, "Seems like that's my mom."
Yeah,
but for me, you know what did it? You know what he did it? When his brother said, "I don't care."
Yeah, I don't care. I'll take second.
I'll be number what?
Yeah, that was dope. You know what I'm saying?
What?
So, yeah, those.
Listen, after he said it was a rap. After that, that's real. That's real love.
Yeah. So but definitely, I like what Trill was saying. Everyone, y'all should check it out. I watched it last night, and I was like, "Oh, all right, that's dope, man." So it's good to see these brothers back together, man. So yeah, but I'll be happy if Charlo knocks homeboy out. I don't know, man. This kid seemed tough, man. So I think it's gonna go all 12. So yeah, I got Charlo by 12th round decision. Mm-hmm.
Yo, Francisco Cruz from the heart, because I done lost people too. I just want to say I'm sorry for your loss.
I think in this moment for me, I'm very interested in this fight, and I really wish that this fight got more press. I really wish more people watched Jermell. And I know Jermell, he had an attitude that turned people off, but I believe he's trying. Like Trill and G pointed out, you can see in this All Access, he's been doing all the right things. And he gets overlooked on this pound for pound list. The first thing is, Jermell Charlo becomes undisputed. I immediately want him in the top 5 of all pound for pound lists. He's already underrated, but if Jermell Charlo wins undisputed at 154, I want him in the top 5 pound for pound on all lists. And I really think he should be top 3, really, when I think about it. But at least get a man his due and make it top 5. Now, when you look at his ability, when you look at his resume, when you look at what he's accomplished in this game to become undisputed, you can make the argument that he's the most accomplished PBC fighter. He would be the most accomplished fighter on the PBC roster. And so what? He got one loss. A lot of people, including myself, scored that fight for him. Score that fight for him. Now, don't get it twisted. I like Tony Harrison. That's my dude. I think Tony Harrison is great. Tony Harrison put up a good fight himself, but I think that Jermell won that fight. But what's awesome to see from Jermell is the growth as well. He's turning into someone that we can all really root for. And that's what we wanted, the personality, the person to match the ability. Because someone can be good, but their personality turn you off. Someone can be good, but it's hard for you to invest in the person and rock with that person. And I think sometimes people felt like, well, maybe we were being overly critical. Nah, we was trying to explain to Jermell this is how we felt because we rock with Jermell. We've been, and when I say we, I'm really saying me and Trill. We've been talking about the Charlos for years, though. When people didn't even know who they were, we've been like, yo, G will tell you, bro. We be naming boxers, dudes don't even know who they were. We named Earl Spence. We named these guys before people even knew who they were. I was like, yo, I gotta show you this kid. I gotta show you them. That's just how we get, like in this boxing thing. We've been with the Charlos. So there was no doubt in my mind. And then in Trill's mind, too, I noticed that we were going to see this day.
Yeah.
Where Jermell Charlo fights for undisputed. And there's no doubt in my mind he'll win. And if he wins, I'm going to be happy as hell. Probably happy as I've been since Floyd, to tell you the truth. Because of the journey of following him to this point. If Jermell wins, All I want is everyone to put him in your at least top 5 pound for pound. And I'm asking everyone watching this, support this fight. We say we want the big fights. We say we want the real fights. We say we want undisputed. We say we want the biggest fights. You're getting it. You're getting it. This Saturday, make sure you watch it.
Right. Now, our last topic is let me play this video to see if everyone agrees or disagrees with my man Bob. Hold on.
Bob say now.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Of course. If he wins, he's undisputed 154 pound champion.
Undefeated.
Undefeated. If that doesn't put you on the pound for pound list, I don't know what does. Maybe not top 5 though, because his resume against other people wouldn't be as good as Jermell's, but definitely he cracks the top 10.
Yeah, and he'll have 2 big wins. Laura and
Yeah. Just to make sure that it starts from the top. Oh, shoot.
For smoking a joint a month before a fight to go to sleep. What the fuck is happening? I mean, let's be real about it. Not be hypocrites about it. Cheating, performance enhancing drugs, that's cheating. That's wrong. Smoking a joint a month before a fight. Take a poll here. What kind of percentage do you think of people? So let's be fucking real.
Yo, run that back, cuz. Run that back.
A joint a month before a fight to go to sleep. What the fuck is happening? I mean, let's be real about it. Let's not be hypocrites about it. Cheating, performance enhancing drugs, that's cheating. That's wrong. Smoking a joint a month before a fight. Take a poll here. What kind of percentage do you think of people who smoked a joint in the last month? So let's be fucking real.
Yo, can you read the caption, G? Oh, my bad. You don't even need to put it back up. Just read it.
It says, let's be fucking real. In this Fight Hub classic clip, the Bob father, Bob Arum, shares his strong thoughts on fighters getting busted for marijuana use. As he gets a little angry, discusses the topic. Bob father is right though. Who else agrees? Question.
Yeah, so Bob Arum basically is saying like fighters getting like suspended and fights canceled and all that for marijuana, he thinks is like too steep of a punishment. And he's like, you know what cheating is. Cheating is like PEDs that enhance your performance, you know, like the Jean Pascal, the Gerald Big Pharma Miller. Like that's PEDs. He's like smoking a joint. Like we gotta be real about it. So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Trill Dollar Bill, man. You agree or disagree with Bob Arum?
I totally agree. I totally agree with Bob Arum. Look, I heard they don't give fighters perks and other stuff. Like, and you get mad about weed? You know what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about weed. All right, okay, well, I get it, man. Listen, I agree with Bob 100%. Bob kept it real, and I'm going to keep it 3 times real and say, hey, I'm with Bob all the time. That doesn't make no sense. I'm talking about there's drugs out here, you know what I'm saying, that can make you better. That's not going to make you better. That's not going to make you better. You know what I'm saying? You're letting people come in here and fight with all types of hormones and other stuff in them, but y'all getting mad about it. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real, but y'all want to talk about weed, but I don't know, man. But it's cool to pump these fighters with Oxycontin. You got all these fighters that became addicted to Oxycontin. Y'all want to give them Oxycontins and perks and all that other stuff. But y'all mad over a little bit of weed. All right, I'm with you, Bob.
All right, Conspiracy.
I kind of agree. I kind of disagree with Bob and Trill on this one. And the reason why is because, like, I'm 50-50 to be honest. Like, if you're gonna make it legal, just make it legal like internationally. But if it's still illegal, excuse me, in certain countries and certain states, and boxing is a global sport, then I think it should remain. You
All right, here's the deal. Legal is probably too strong of a word. Decriminalized in a lot of places, meaning like you won't go to jail for it.
Yeah,
But legal is probably
but because
too
we're
strong of
talking
a
about,
word.
but we're talking about a sport, so it's like if you get tested, right, and they find weed in your system, right, should you get stripped? Should you get fined? This, that, and the third. I'm saying, like, I think it's gonna have to, like, all four governing bodies are gonna have to come together and have a real conversation about it. But if one is saying, "Nah, bro, we sticking to this," and others are like, you know what I mean? It has to be uniformed across the boxing world and the other sporting, just governing bodies and health administrations and things of that nature, right? And the reality is, though, yo, man, it does help you rest. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine you going through a hard sparring, you know what I mean, hard training camp, and you know what I mean. You smoke a split for two, you can go to sleep, you heal faster. You know what I mean? There's a number of things that is technically a performance enhancement. And on the flip side, though, why I think it's dangerous is because, like, yo, it does help, you know, anxiety. So imagine you going against a hard hitter or whatever, you getting nervous, you know what I mean? You're like, I could take this fight. Your actions might be delayed. You know what I'm saying? That fear, that natural fear that kicks in, that helps you survive, and with your reflexes and everything, that might not be there. You can get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm thinking the worst case scenario, obviously, but you know, there's an argument for both sides. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I know. I just want to just throw in there real quick. If you remember Chavez Jr., his best performance in a loss against Sergio Martinez, he was high off weed.
But yo, that could be.
I don't know whether that helps or hurt.
Like,
hey, Trill, I don't know if that helps or hurts your argument.
It helped the great Sergio Martinez in the 12th round.
But that makes it a PED.
But hey, you know, I'm of the argument of, hey, yo, listen, if two fighters agree to do whatever, as long as they agree, let them have it. But if one is thinking, yo, you know what, we're gonna do this clean, and the other person's like, man, I'm getting beat up in sparring, you know, let me just smoke something so I can at least rest, you know, heal my body. I kind of feel low-key that's cheating, unless the other person knows and they're okay with it. So that's why I'm like, there needs to be communication amongst the sport to say, like, hey, this is allowed, this is not allowed.
But they was giving these fighters oxycontins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they have to go to a doctor. Just like I feel like if you want to smoke,
no, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you got to go to your doctor, and your doctor says, I'm gonna write you this prescription because I feel like you need this to perform. You know, I don't know, at a degree that's safe for you to be in this sport. Then that's different. But if you're just sparking, you just doing whatever on your own, I kind of feel like that is cheating.
All right, TBE.
Third course, I don't know if you saw us coming. He said something. Y'all talking about weed when they taking steroids. That's hilarious, man. But
yo, they might be. They might be doing both.
They might be doing both, but it's gonna come out in the piss test. You know, once they get tested for it, it's gonna show that they cheating.
We hope it's gonna show.
I think this is just a conversation that just needs to be brought up. Like, why are athletes getting so harsh punishments, or getting harsh punishments for when they get caught with marijuana in their systems? Like, we see the situation with the homegirl from the Olympics, how she lost her chance to put on for a country. Yes, Sha'Carri Richardson. We saw Josh Smith. We saw who got kicked out. We saw how it affected Michael Beasley's career. What's homeboy's name? He was on the Bucks. He was on Milwaukee. He was on Memphis. I forgot. I am drawing blanks.
I know you're
His
talking
name.
about. I can't remember his name right now either.
Yeah, they said he was supposed to be the next Jordan, and he got banned from the league because he was using marijuana.
I don't think anybody said he was going to be the next.
That was
Jordan,
his
so I
draft
know what you're talking
comparison.
about.
That was his draft comparison. I'm drawing blanks, but it just shows you, like, at this point we're a progressive country. We should be able to like do rational things as a people, but you know, this is just a discussion that just needs to be looked at. Like, is it really harmful? Is it really digressing the sport? There should be some regulations. Athletes shouldn't be able to perform under the influence. But after a game, on their time off, if they need something to rest, recover, or it helps them with their mental anxiety, mental illness, or whatever they're dealing with. They shouldn't be not allowed to like partake in certain things that just help them cope with whatever they're dealing with. So I don't know, just something like professional admins need to talk about. The players, athletes, everybody needs to have a voice in saying how this should be managed. But I do agree with Bob on it. It's like y'all really kicking people, or y'all really banning people for smoking weed. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I understand both sides of this topic. So, like, for example, I never even tried weed in my whole life. I never smoked a joint. I never tried weed. I just never felt the need to do it. It just wasn't for me. However, I've been around people who do it, and like, I don't judge them. Like, it never like
You different, bro.
messed up anything, right? Like, you are who you are. I am who I am. We're gonna have some fun. The only difference is you're gonna dip out and, you know, blaze one, whatever. We gonna go out and have a good time.
We still gonna eat grub. We still
Exactly.
gonna eat grub.
You know, you might have little munchies, whatever, right? But like, so it was just never like this thing that messed up anything. So for like example, I've never been about to get into a fight and the dude was like, "Yo, I smoke weed," and I was like, "Man, I might lose now." This man has been buffing on the joints. Like, it is never, you know. Now, if I was about to get into it, right, and then, you know, it is like, I honestly don't think so. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't think so. But, like, you know, if you told me that I'm about to fight someone and they're like, "Oh, this dude's juicing," I'd feel a lot differently than you said, "Oh, he's puffing on a joint." So, like, for that reason, though, I think you should treat it differently.
I'm sorry, I had shit that was wild 1 foot.
So, getting back to a point, rules are rules, right? And you should follow the rules. And I think a lot of people are mixing up like decriminalization with legalization, right? So smoking a joint could still prevent you from opportunities. Like, if in America, if you want to work for certain government agencies and you smoke weed, you can't work for them. Like, even if you smoked it once, you can't work for them. Like, so there's certain things you got to keep in mind. Like, everyone isn't tolerant of people who smoke weed, although it's decriminalized. Although, like, in states like Colorado, you can't go anywhere without seeing a dispensary, right? But smoking weed in Colorado doesn't mean that it's acceptable federally. So, like, if you want to apply for a federal job, they can still hold that against you, right? Someone just wrote it's illegal in the UK. Exactly. So just because it's legal in Colorado, and then you got to fight, and then you get tested, and it's on the banned substance list, it's still on the banned substance list. When you look at a lot of things that are on the banned substance list, like whatever was in clenbuterol, whatever was in the nasal spray, right? You can take that like in your day-to-day life, but if you want to fight, you can't. So if it's on the banned substance list, right, you need to make sure that you don't have it in your system. So if weed's on the banned substance list, I agree, you shouldn't smoke it. But here's where I feel like it should be treated differently. Me and Trill are about to engage in the biggest fights of our career. Trill needs me for that fight. I need Trill for that fight. we already did promotions. He's about to make the biggest bag of his life. I'm about to make the biggest bag of my life. And Trill test positive for smoking a joint. And now they say to me, oh, he smoked weed, the fight's off, we got to suspend him. I'm thinking, let him fight. Weed, that's it. I'm about to make my bag. You going to mess up my bag because he smoked the joint? Like, and there's where I think it should be fighter's choice. I think when someone tests positive for marijuana, it should be fighter's choice. I think the fighter should say, like, okay, as long as this person doesn't do it from now till the fight, right, we can still have the fight. And the thing about marijuana, I know this from when I worked in the courts, you can test the levels to see if they're leaving the blood system or if they've spiked in the system. So you can trace the levels where they're at and test to make sure that it's going down, to make sure that it's rhythm. And so I do believe, like, you shouldn't blow a bag, right, over someone testing positive. Like, you look at Sha'Carri Richardson, right, the young lady from the USA who people believe was going to medal at the Olympics. I'm not 100% certain Sha'Carri Richardson could beat Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, but I wanted to see that race. And I'm sure
USA.
I'm not 100% sure she could beat Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, but it would be a good race. And maybe she does, but that's why we want to see it, right? Now, you know who else probably wanted Sha'Carri there? Shelly Ann Fraser. Because it makes the race bigger. It puts more eyes on it, more sponsorship, more dollars. But now you just took Sha'Carri out of the race because she smoked marijuana. It hurts her, but it may hurt Shelly Ann Fraser's bottom line as well. Well, maybe if you call Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and all the other people competing in that race, they may say, as long as it clears her system before we meet in Japan, let it happen. So now I understand, and that's why I said for marijuana, to me, and I'll just close with this. In my opinion, it should be fighter's choice. If someone tests positive for marijuana, they should say, this person tests positive for marijuana. It's against the rules. We can suspend them, or we can allow the fight to happen as long as they don't do this anymore. And the fighter should be able to choose. But to treat it like it's typical PED, I think is wrong. So I agree with Barber.
Well, I did look it up. So I went on the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health, right? And so they said cannabis smoking can be helpful for some activities such as extreme sports, as it improves muscle relaxation, reduces anxiety, and extincts fear memories, leading to enhanced performance. It is also worthwhile to note that cannabis smoking improves sleep time and recovery, which may favor performance when an athlete is facing multiple competitions in a short period of time. So to me, that could be argued as a PED, you know. So I just wanted to provide that in there because I was curious reading people's comments. I was like, yo, let me just check it out to see if in fact how, you know, medical institutions actually view cannabis in.
Okay, I agree with you, but then you bring in Trill's argument. So why don't you look up Oxycontin and look at all these other things that could be prescribed to these athletes if they just went to see a doctor, and they'll say,
I'm saying if you get it prescribed to consume cannabis in any form, I think that's cool. Like, I kind of feel like homegirl from the 100. She should have went to a doctor. Was like, yo, I'm feeling messed up. My mom just died. Yo, help me out here, man. Let me smoke some.
Big facts on that.
You know? Got the gold. I mean, yeah, now, yeah, sure. Salute to Jamaica. You know what I mean? So
here's what it is, G. I feel you, and I think we all feel you, bro. But what we're saying is, like, there's like a fine line between like a PED that puts someone's life in jeopardy, that can cause serious bodily, that could lead to serious bodily injury if a fighter's taking it, and a PED like marijuana. Although you just listed all the things marijuana can do, it can't give you superhuman strength. Like, it can't make you build like all types of muscles. Yes, it can help you do these things, but that's why I feel like you fighter's choice. Like, I would rather have the choice. Like, if I was about to have a huge fight with Trill Dollar Bill and he smoked a joint and he tested positive and you suspend him How you know that's not gonna hurt me too? How you know
I agree with you. Like, yeah,
go through with that fight.
Yeah,
whereas, like, if you test positive for all the things that Jean Pascal tested positive for, you have no choice but to stop it. It's like suicide to let a fighter walk in the ring against Jean Pascal. So that's all I'm saying. It's like we gotta be real, and we can't treat all these substances as if they're the same. And I think some substances we can allow, like, it to rid the fighter system and still allow the fighters to fight. And I think marijuana is one of those things. All right, TB.
Bruce Leroy, where you getting your coffee? Look at it. It said weed ain't no PED. It's like coffee, but weaker. Where you getting your coffee?
I remember coffee used to be a banned substance from the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, years ago, like Olympic athletes couldn't consume coffee, but then they reversed that ruling because they're like, yeah, it was so common. That's like, come on, why would you penalize somebody for there's coffee in all kind of things, like even in your food? So they allowed it, but it used to be a banned substance back in the days. And that's actually it. So you know what I'm saying? Oh, what? Gee, watch your mouth, Jamaica to the wall. Yo, listen, I ain't gonna front, man. I was so excited for the Olympics this year. I was like, we taking it away from Jamaica. Now, y'all got that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. Oh, Pascal Haitian, like big former. Yo, facts, man. It's crazy, right? The two Haitian boxers. This is crazy, man. And Berto, this is my conspiracy G bag. I'm just saying, Berto, you looking too buff, son. I don't know. I'm just saying. You better come clean with Ugas, bro. Don't do that to that Cuban brother. I'm just saying, man.
I blame G. If Berto tests positive for BD, I blame G.
Yo, y'all acting like Berto don't be yoked up, man. I'm just saying, man. It's just getting crazy out here, man. My Haitian brothers, we gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, put down the PEDs and just eat the suspoir. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right, man. So, but yeah, yo, that's actually the last topic, people. So, yo, Trill.
You gonna take us home, brother?
Thank you for rocking with us today. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm Trill Dollar Bill. That's Kate and that's G and that's the TBE. And you know who we are. We the Boxing Bros.